Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Hello, lovely people. I hope you're well. Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Night Live Show. My name is Callum, joined by a Drifty man like Matt will be joining soon. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. If I sound a bit rough, it's because I am feeling a bit rough. Obviously, Saturday night, got no sleep. Yesterday, and last night got very little sleep and had a full day of work as well. But we are here. Before we came on air, Drifty asked me, is it going to be an emotional one? And I said, I don't know, bro. It might be. I'll be honest, I'm looking at the chat. It seems like it's been emotional before we even started the show, to be honest. Shout out to you guys in the chat. If you haven't already, please do smash that like button. And also, please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Drifty, brother, how are you doing this Monday?
I got a few things off my chest with the boys earlier, so I think I'm a little bit more therapized than you are at the moment, if that's even a word. But yeah, hold on, I think Cal's frozen, hasn't he? Yep, he has. Let me see how long it takes him to reset it. But big up people. Each and every time I see everybody jumping in, big up yourselves. Actually, I'll save that super for when Cal's back. So big up yourself, bro. Let me remove Cal for a second. Not to punk him, but yeah, people, it's been a madness since yesterday. Was it 24 hours roughly, isn't it? Actually, do you know what? While I wait for Cal to come back, let me just do a little members promo. And yeah, here's a little.
Oh, we got lucky.
Oh, he done me. He done me there, bro. I'm not even going to lie. I got the runner. Oh. Good flip,
hold on, Drift. Yeah, to Diaz or Nunez.
There you go, bro. I'm in the gut to stay with you, bro.
Oh, spot that, bro. Unlucky. Watch out for this corner.
So yes, people, there you have it. Little promo there for the.
Matt's going to be carrying us, isn't it? I'm about to be a passenger in this.
He's most definitely is. This one was for you while you were just before you left out. Sadiq saying, "Raw, Cal about that life. He's here to fight." Obviously, because you had the cage in the background.
Yeah, it's from the other streams I was doing yesterday. Oh boy!
I don't even think it's a word. I'm going to make it a word if it isn't. Therapized. You know, when you've been allowed to speak through some of the foolishness, you've got some few bits off your chest and whatever. Because I was talking with the lads earlier, so we got a few things off our chest. But yeah, I'm still very, very disappointed. Very disappointed. And the crazy thing is, bro, I don't know if it was one of your questions. So if it is, stop me and then we'll get into it. How did I feel about what happened with Arsenal afterwards? It's weird because for me personally, it made me feel a little bit.
You're doing the most, Drew. You're doing the most.
Oh, okay.
Keep it short.
Yeah.
Big up to Hannah Grace. Obviously, today is the anniversary of Hillsborough. I know we mentioned it yesterday during before the watch along. So obviously, we're here to talk about football, etc. But those things pale in comparison to Hillsborough disaster and what those family members have gone through on the day and since then. Our thoughts and prayers are always with the family, friends, and relatives of those who are no longer with us, who unfortunately went to a football match and never came home. And you know, we are always thinking of those people. So justice for the 97, and justice, God willing, for the family, friends, and relatives who are still with us today. So never forget those who didn't make it back.
I had someone being a real dickhead earlier that I had to block because people who think they can make jokes about it just blows my mind.
It just,
absolutely blows my mind.
yeah, it's one of the most sickening things you can do. And like, I don't know. Again, we spoke about this yesterday in the show with people saying abusive things, but like telling someone to shut up and things like that, yeah, very rude, very annoying. But making fun of those who are no longer with us and all that stuff, you got to be a sick individual to do something like that. And again, not everyone's like how we are, or most of the people in the chat. If I have a problem with someone, the last thing on my mind is to go at their family, friends, or relatives, especially those who are no longer with us. So, yeah, if people are doing that, then especially on this stream, if anyone's doing that, they will be blocked forever. Be no warning or anything like that. They'll be blocked forever, and we'll make it a point that they never get to see a Kopish show or mingle in this community again, because those are the lowest form of people that you can get, in my opinion. Drift.
Yeah, man,
we are
definitely.
here also to speak about. Hold on, have you watched UFC yet?
I haven't. No.
Wow.
I haven't. Apologies.
Let me just take a little sip.
By the next time we speak, after today, I will have. I mean, let me do a little swerve quickly while taking your mind off of your disappointment. Big up, Beige. Is in the thing. We spoke about Sobo today, and Beige said he needs a bush bar and a reset.
Oh man.
Man said he needs to be taken to one of them small villages and given a bush bar.
Zed Medi, I promise you, I've had a lot of water today, so this is my little downtime now. I've had a lot of water. I've been a lot of water today, so if I have any more water, I ain't gonna be able to sleep tonight because I'm gonna be in the bathroom more than I'm gonna be in my bed. Right, Drift. Yesterday we had to endure watching Crystal Palace come to Anfield and beat us 1-0, and then we sat there, me, you, and Matt, and said, Villa keep on missing chances. Arsenal going to snatch this 1-0 or 2-0 and then get the 3 points. We're going to pretty much be out. That didn't happen. Aston Villa went 1-0 up, then 2-0 up. I'm going to ask you, because I know how I feel. Seeing Arsenal lose 2-0 after we lost 1-0, did it make you feel worse or better? Even if it's by 1%, how did it make you feel?
All right, so there's two angles that I come at this from. The first angle is the Liverpool only fan, the sensible person.
No only fan on here, bro.
The sensible side of myself, should I say. And that person looked at the situation and thought to himself, wow, what an absolute travesty that we haven't, on the same weekend that they've dropped points, won our game to do our bit, to be ahead of them, and to have what would be considered, if we'd have won that game, a good, healthy lead with 6 games to go. Because if I'm being totally honest with you, as much as I think Arsenal are playing way better than us, etc., if we had a 3-point lead over them with 6 games to go, it would feel very significant. Because even though a lot can happen in 6 games, a 3-point lead at this stage of the season, we were talking about it, Matt, earlier, Matt, innit? Like, with 6 games to go, 3 points is a lot. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot because there's only 6 games to play. So it would have really felt really good to have won yesterday and then watch Arsenal lose. So the sensible part of me felt that way. The petty side of me, the hateful side of me said, hey ho, if Liverpool can't win it, it better be City. So you know what? It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to lie, because I tell you what would have been worse than Liverpool not winning the league. Arsenal winning the league. And call me a hater all you want. It is what it is. Everybody has their nemesis. We know Man United is a nemesis. And let's be real, Arsenal's a nemesis as well. And they're the 2 clubs that I think would actually damage my whole summer if they won the league. And I'll own it. I won't even shy away from it. I'm not going to lie about it. I will own it. If Man United or Arsenal win the league at any point, that summer is not going to feel like a good summer for me personally. I will hate that shit. So the petty side of me was like, well, look, at least City are going to go and do it. And let's be real, City winning doesn't mean much to anybody after the fact. It annoys you when it's happening, and then afterwards you're like, eh. And I don't even mean that disrespectfully. Man City have never meant anything in my life to me before, and they barely do outside of the title race now. Like, it is what it is. Like, that man that we'll talk about for a little while, and then we'll see about those 115. But if Arsenal had won the league, I'd be moving to Marsrue, but a man will call me Matt Damon.
All right. I'm going to ask a question to Matt. By the way, fully agree with everything you said there, Drift. I'm going to ask you a question, Matt. Welcome to the show, first and foremost.
Yeah, big up, everyone. Big up.
Why have Liverpool and Arsenal? And again, I'm asking the questions. Don't shoot me down here. I'm not saying this is my opinion. But why have Liverpool and Arsenal fans given up the league, and it's only 2 points in it?
Because I think Liverpool and Arsenal fans have been there before. Arsenal last year, where they knew if they dropped points, Man City don't really drop points. It's end of the season. They're looking at like the 3 points that they dropped yesterday, just like us. Man City are most likely going to win the majority of their games. Most likely. I mean, Liverpool fans will tell you the same thing. I hate to say this, but we're both teams are going through the same thing, innit? We knew in the 18-19 season, what really cost us the league was those draws. Because if I'm not mistaken, we only lost twice. Yeah.
What season was that? Sorry.
So the 18-19 when we got 96 points.
Oh, we lost once.
Was it only once?
Bro.
Sorry,
Yeah,
imagine that. Yeah. So we lost once. Yeah. And then there you go. And the quad chasing season. If I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened again with the draws. Like we draw too many games.
We lost twice that season.
But it's the draws. Like basically, it's dropping points. The problem is in Liverpool, and it's always been the case of when the going gets tough. I hate to say it, there is that bit of that. Like, can we get over the line? Because Man City know how to get over the line. We've done it once. When it comes down to it, and it's not a nice thing to be reminded about, but that is the reality. We've only done it once. They've done it. They won a freaking treble last year, and they're now in the driving seat because imagine this: all they did was beat Luton, right? They were supposed to.
Hold on. Keep that there, Matt. You mentioned the key word there, the treble. They're on course to do an unprecedented double treble. And also a 4P in the Premier League. I ask you both, Liverpool and Arsenal have both dropped points over the weekend. Could it not be conceivable, especially given Man City's squad isn't as big as most people think, is it not conceivable that they could actually drop points in the Premier League because they will be spread thin in the FA Cup and Champions League? Because I expect them to go through against Real Madrid, and I expect them to get to the final of the FA Cup. So is there not an argument to say their squad could actually be quite thin and they could still drop points in the Prem?
Dave,
can I answer you?
Is this to you or me? Is this a drift for me?
I'll go first, and then because it looks like you got more to say than I do.
Matt looks he's furious to ask the question, bro. Matt gave me the daddy.
I'll answer your question with a question, Cal, and it will answer the question. What your answer will be to the question. If I said to you, you have to bet on one of the three teams with your mortgage on winning the league based on their form and not dropping points, would it be City, Arsenal, or Liverpool you would place your bet on?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not really a betting man. But,
sorry to cut you. Palmer's fighting the man them for the penalty.
What you mean? Like a
Madueke wanted to take it, then Jackson comes over and it's like he was taking it or getting. Bro, he's fighting the man them.
Yeah, Cole's not a man to play with still.
And newsflash, he apparently has a first half hat trick.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And now he's got a penalty because he could score 4.
Yeah, they're coming into form at the right time, eh?
And they've got to play. Who have they got to play?
Arsenal.
And haven't they got to play City as well?
No, I
No,
don't
City
think so. No.
games. Yeah, they drew both times. You see.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Griff, you were gonna
but-
say, yeah.
That's right. To answer your question, Drift, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I think Arsenal still might win this league.
So you'd put your money on Arsenal if you're making your bet.
I never said that. I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth, Drifty.
No, okay. Who would you put the bet on, Cal? Who's the money going on in the bet?
The smart money would be to put it on City, given that they've done it and all of that.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure where that clip is. Is that from a movie or
That
something?
felt like such a mafia move. Like,
Yeah, it's from a movie, but I'm trying to
Like,
remember. It's like you're a smart guy.
I honestly think I think there's more twists and turns to come. Unfortunately, I don't think it involves us in a positive way. I don't think City are clear to win it yet. And I think Arsenal will have another say in this title run. Simply because especially if they go out to Bayern Munich. If they go out to Bayern Munich, all the eggs are in one basket. City are going to be spread so thin, it's going to be tough. It really is going to be tough for City. To do a treble is one thing. To do a double treble, especially losing players, and let's be real, the players they bought in haven't really set the team alight. I haven't even seen Mateus Nunez in weeks, and all these other players. So again,
can I give you a caveat that might help you to think that what you're saying could possibly be different? No, not crazy, because I agree with you that Arsenal aren't out of this. I think Arsenal's got more chance of staying in it than we do. But Arsenal's fixtures, if they go out against Bayern Munich, which remember would bring disappointment, is Wolves away, Chelsea at home, Spurs away within 10 days.
I'll be honest, I think they smoked Chelsea at home. I know what we're seeing here is Chelsea playing well. I think they smoked Chelsea at home, and I think they beat Wolves. It's the Spurs game is the one that they could slip up. I think they beat Wolves. Wolves are good, but Wolves aren't clinical, and Arsenal will get chances in that game.
Cal, I think Wolves away, if they go out to Bayern, is harder than Chelsea at home or Spurs away. Because mentally, how do you get off the plane knowing that you've just gone out and then 2 days later you're in, which is quite a hostile, difficult, Molyneux, a difficult place to play.
No,
you know?
I agree.
Wolves will badge you
about one big fixture, Craven Cottage.
Are you talking
No,
about
that's for us. That's for us. I'm talking about Arsenal.
Haven't Arsenal got to play Fulham just like how we have?
No. That's City have got to play Fulham.
Sure, Arsenal play Fulham.
They lost. Arsenal already lost to them. Remember at Christmas?
No, I swear Arsenal. Am I going mad? Is it? I know we do.
They lost West Ham at home and Fulham away in December before the Christmas break. Remember?
I swear Arsenal play Fulham, or maybe they played them at home. Is it at home?
Fulham drew with them. They only got 1 point off Fulham this season.
Where's my? Hold on.
I'm gonna bring up the fixtures, boys.
Yeah, for some reason, I genuinely thought Arsenal had to play Fulham. So it's City that play.
So
Fulham.
Liverpool and City have both got to go to the Cottage. Arsenal have already lost at the Cottage.
But what I mean is, Arsenal still have to play Fulham, though.
Arsenal haven't got to play Fulham. No.
Okay.
So, cut you, boys. So Arsenal's fixtures. In fact, I do in order. So Man City are top. So Man City have got Brighton away, Nottingham Forest away, Wolves at home, Fulham away, Spurs away, and West Ham at home.
Hold on. Our next game is Fulham away.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
My days. I can't believe I'm saying this, yeah?
Matt, wait.
It'd be an absolute madness, you know?
Yeah.
I'll way they're playing football right now.
I look at City's fixtures and I think Fulham and Spurs away where they could potentially drop points.
I don't see City dropping points.
All right. Arsenal, Wolves away, Chelsea home, Spurs away, Bournemouth home, Man United away, Everton at home. Man United and Spurs away are the two games that I see them potentially dropping points.
I look at these fixture lists and think, if we was in better form, I would look at our fixtures and go, we can win all of those.
Yeah.
The form we are in right now, We are
He's
not winning
toiling.
all of those games. It's actually impossible. I'll be real. If we win all of those games, which is like right now 89% unlikely. I don't know why I said 89, but probably is 89. That'll be a miracle to win all of those games. Like I'm talking, it would have to be like, I don't know, man, some siege mentality, bro.
For our fixtures,
No, but
we've
Sean,
got
that was
Fulham-
Thursday. You have to understand. Thursday is different to what when did we play on the week? Thursday is different to Sunday, bro. You know
we've
what
got
I'm saying?
got Fulham away, Everton away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, Villa away, Wolves at home. For us, yeah, it's mad.
Still feel, did you? Who did you say you think are the favourites?
I think City are the favourites. I still see a world where Arsenal win it, though. I don't know what. I just think City
Why
are
do you
so.
keep thinking? Why do you keep putting that in the universe, bro?
I'm not. Obviously, I don't want it to happen, Matt. But
But look at those fixtures. I'm gonna sit here and say I think it's now Man City's title to lose because
Oh, absolutely is.
Brighton
Absolutely.
haven't been the same team. Brighton have had a lot of injuries, and I know I keep talking about it, but that Matip injury really hurt them. And not only that, they've had a couple of other injuries as well throughout the whole season. They just look unbalanced, yeah. Nottingham Forest, they're not good enough, in my opinion, to cause City problems. Wolves at home, they won't even have like Neto. Like, so Wolves can be good because you got the striker, what's his name?
Cunha.
Mateus Cunha. He is good, but I don't think that's enough. We needed a Neto there as well, in my opinion, to really cause them problems. Fulham away, again, Man City, here's the thing, as good as Fulham are, I still worry that Man City will still make them look ordinary.
Yeah,
that is my worry. And
Can I
then
just
you go
say,
to
guys?
yeah.
So in the comments, guys, I promise you, I'm not just saying this for the sake of it. If you disagree with me, I'm not even going to sit here and say you're wrong. I don't know what it is. I just to do a double treble with a thin squad is not easy.
But
And if
one
Bayern
team that
Munich
could do
knock
it, Cal.
Arsenal out, they will have so much time in between fixtures to prepare, as will Liverpool, but Arsenal in better form than Liverpool. Villa are a very good team. Villa, who played yesterday against Arsenal, the only team that would beat them in Villa's form yesterday is Man City.
Yeah. Look at
And
these
it's
fixtures,
just 2
man.
points. Shout out to De Gea. It's only 2 points.
All right, we just got. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, obviously, any team. The thing is, it's our. I still can't believe we lost that game. It's not even draw, Cal. We didn't even draw.
Yeah, I know.
We lost. I think that's what it is. If we drew, we'd have 1 point more, and we'd be level on points on City, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh no, City are now. How many points ahead of us now?
They're 2 points ahead.
They're 2 points ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be 1 point behind if we drew. If we'd won the game, we would have been 1 point ahead. But
all we had to do in hindsight was draw. And if City make any mistake, because we actually know their goal difference is probably better than us now. From what I'm.
Shall I tell you what? Shall I tell you what? Shall I tell you what the killer is? It's not just the fact we lost. It's the fact that we've gone behind in goal difference to both teams. That's why I'm not really giving a big shot now. Because if our goal difference was level with at least one or better than one, you could conceivably make an argument to say there's a chance. But when you're behind on goal difference and behind both teams, for me, yes, it's mad.
Sorry, I need to address this quickly. Star-Lord, I'm actually just gonna be thingy. Star-Lord, how am I being deluded if I think Man City are the favorites and we literally don't have any hope? How is that delusion?
So I wouldn't say we don't have any hope.
Like, no, what? So sorry. Can I just bring no? But we need to kind of bring realism into it. Like,
no. But I don't think me saying that there's still hope is unrealistic. Me saying, yeah, we're gonna win.
Let me rephrase it. We can hope. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Yeah, you're right. Let me rephrase it. We can hope that we can still win the title, but I'm only going off what I can see right now, and what I can see is even though Arsenal lost to a very, very good Villa side, we lost to a Crystal Palace side who are not better than Villa. Yeah. And our form I hate to say it, I thought was better than what we showed. I generally thought the Man United game, the game against Atalanta were kind of like blips in our season, just at the wrong times. But it seems like it's more than that. And that's why I will sit here and say, as much as I love my team, and I'll back my team to the end, innit? Like, until it's literally impossible, do you know what I mean? I will never give up. But I'm just looking at it, I'm thinking, I've got to be realistic though. Like, if we win it, it's a miracle, so to speak. Whereas a couple like a week ago, bro, weren't we top? This is got killed, bro.
A week and a day ago, when Diaz scored that goal against Man United, things were looking good.
And all of a sudden,
since then, we drew that game, lost to Atalanta, and then lost to Crystal Palace.
And it's
in
the
space
manner
of 7 days.
It's the manner we got. But imagine this year. We lost to Man United, yeah. Sorry, drew against Man United. Sorry, drew against Man United, yeah. That felt like a loss, right? And you think to yourself, all right, cool. The only way to respond is to get a win. We got battered. Let's keep it a buck. We got battered. COD settings. Pause. Yeah. It was horrible. Like, I didn't know what I was watching there. Like, Liverpool just got mashed up.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
By who?
You know what I'm saying? They said
Atalanta.
Atalanta, bro.
Oh. Yeah,
We were Ronda Rousey and they were Nunez in that game. We was on our tippy toes the whole game.
Careful with the UFC references, because certain man ain't watched it yet, man.
You're lying.
Yeah. No, know what? Yeah, I'm
today's Monday.
You're gonna see that I can't lie about this. Watch. It's gonna reload it, but it was set up literally with the event live, waiting to go as soon as we finish here. I'll bullshit you not.
Oh no, cool.
Bro, man, you're like a day late, son. Bro, you got to watch. You should watch that last night, bro.
I know I've got a lot of catching up to do. I take the L. I apologize.
I can't even say that.
I know.
Anyway,
it's so
back
long.
to the
On
the fixtures. I'll be honest with you. Like I said it before, and I think a lot of people thought I was crazy when I said it. I was getting caught up in the emotion. I mean it. Even 24 hours after the fact, I feel exactly the same way. Liverpool are getting 3 points maximum from the next 3 away games. It's either 3 draws, a win and 2 defeats, or the worst case scenario, we don't get any points. But the maximum points we're getting is 3. Goodison Park is going to be a madness, and we've only won there twice in 10 attempts. Even under all of this dominance of Klopp, we've only won at Goodison Park twice in 10 attempts. Fulham away, we all know the dangers of Fulham away. And the thing is, we're not playing well. If we're playing really well, I'd be like, you know, we could probably overpower them because we are a better side, but we're not playing well. And we've already drawn at the Kopish this season, proving that we couldn't beat them in the cup. And West Ham is the type of team that a home performance in West Ham is Marmite. It's either exceptional or it's terrible. But we start so badly, it'll be exceptional because we'll give them their wind. They'll score 1 or 2 goals in that beginning bit of the game, and then they'll feel good about themselves, and it'll be one of those brilliant home performances from West Ham. So call me crazy, but I don't see where we get any more than 3 points from those 3 games, which are in a row, by the way. We've got 4 away games in a row, including Europe. 4 away games in a row.
Can I say something? It's very left field, and I might get crucified for this, but fair enough. Shall I tell you the one player I think we're really missing in this running that I don't think anyone's mentioned? That if you look at previous years where we've gone up for the title, who's been very instrumental in this part of the season.
I bet I know who you're going to say.
Joel Matip.
Yeah. I was just about to say it.
18-19, I think people forget Joel Matip's form to close out the season where we won the Champions League. 23-24, I think people forget Joel Matip's form to close out the season. Joel Matip is him when it gets to this point of the season. He really is. And I think we're massively missing him at the moment.
Now, let's just be honest. His influence, generally speaking, is so upbeat and good. Like, his character is so good that when he's playing, he helps the other players to relax and feel better about themselves as well. I don't know if he's got that type of vibe when he's in the change room, not playing on crutches or not, whatever. But I doubt it. because you're not going to feel good about yourself when you're trying to get back. You can't walk properly. You're feeling the injury, etc., etc. I doubt you've got that same bubbly attitude that you do when you're playing. So we missed that as well, because Joel's one of the big characters in the dressing room that helps everybody to, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And right now, like, I think he's been impeccable all season in regards to his performances and his captaincy. But right now, Virgil's being tested in his leadership, though. This is like, real leaders do get actually given a bit more kind of, are you great or not, in these type of moments where you're trying to get your team over the line. And it weren't a good look for Virgil in the Crystal Palace game. It weren't a good look for Virgil in the Crystal Palace game. He looked like he didn't care at all.
I'm going to say this, yeah. You're right about the Virgil thing, but I'm going to defend Virgil for this one thing here, though. Everything you said is right, but I'm going to add this. This is a horrible thing to say.
No, I know what you're going to say. Wait, I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't know what. No, you don't. I don't know. Virgil.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna put it in a private message to see if I guess it. No. The reason why, because it's part of a segment. If you are gonna say it, so let me just type it quickly
say in the private chat. All right. Would that spoil part of the show if I say that? Yeah. Show would have been done. Show would have been much.
I know you're a bit too well. I
can't say that then.
Yeah,
that's not all the way true, by the way.
That's why I don't want you to say it. That's why I don't want you to say it.
Yeah, Drift, I'll say this, and this is where you will agree with me. Different, bro. Think about it. Don't say anything because it's a spoiled show.
Yeah.
But it's Dick. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple other people you could throw in and then it starts. No, I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm saying I think there's even more to it than that. But people will look at me sideways. Actually, I'm just going to say it. Here we go. Fuck it.
No, I know what you're going to say.
Say it for you. I know what you're going to say.
I know you're going to say, but I would say, you know what? Let's
in the chat. But yeah.
No, I know what you're going to say, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, because actually, no, I can't say that. I give it away. Let me not say nothing. Yeah, Cal. Next question.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a one-word answer. For this is not just Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you.
I didn't think about
is the title race over? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think it is. Unfortunately.
People who understand football will understand what I'm saying. It ain't over, but it's over.
I'm gonna sit here and say I don't think the title race is over, but I don't think Liverpool are gonna do anything of note between now and the end of the season in the Prem.
I think we're going to finish 8 points off the lead, and it won't look like we're in the title.
No. It's just that it's not when it's not in your hands. Pause. You have to rely on other teams, bro. Like I hate that. I hate having to rely on another team. That's the problem.
Mm. If you ask me to put money on it, Cal, I'll say 2 wins, 4 draws in our last 6 games.
My chest.
No, I'm gonna say
my chest.
2 wins. No. 3 wins and 2 draws. Maybe.
And 1 defeat.
We will see. Well, guys, over almost 1,000 of you in the chat. So I'm going to ask for some housekeeping now, guys. If you haven't already, please just quickly scroll up and smash that like button. It's that button that looks like a thumb. Please click that button. Let's try and get to 1,000 likes live on the stream. So please click that button. Let's help the super chats before we move on to the next topic. Recency Bias Radio. So shout out to Team Kopish, most consistent LFC channel in the world. Big up yourself, Recency.
Big up yourself, bro.
Appreciate it. Hold on. Drift, actually, I don't know if I can read this one. I know I can. Big up Sultan. Drift, don't tell me you ain't watched UFC yet. In my opinion, we should play Gakpo left wing, Diaz right wing, Jota 9, drop Mo and Nunez. Gakpo cooked last 2 games. Very quick answer, boys. Do you agree with this super chat? I do, by the way.
Yeah.
Is there a part of the segment where we're going to talk about team selection or players individually tonight?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for this.
I'll leave it for them because what I'm going to say might step on the toes of that segment.
That might be the last episode of.
I'm going to be a
Kopish
plagiarist today as well.
Say again.
I'm going to be a plagiarist. I'm going to be a plagiarist today still. And I told the man who I'm teething from already. I told him, I said, bro, I'm teething that still.
Cool.
So,
Fair
yeah.
dues. Shout out to John Conway.
When we start talking.
Big up Cow Drift. Also big up Matt as well. Justice for the 97 indeed.
Big up.
Shout out to the Liverpool Prophet says, big up Cow Drift. I'm starting my own channel today. Wish me luck, guys. Big up yourself, man. You don't need luck. You don't need luck.
You got this, man. You got
consistency. You got this, man. Streets Approved Tem says, Arsenal don't lose if we win. We've been here before. It's impossible to say. It's impossible to say. Here's the thing, though. You could argue that with us losing, they'd have had even more momentum to go and win that game, and they didn't. So it's impossible to say. We can only go on the results we've seen.
It's very easy to relax if you think that you've got a cushion, though. I think that's what he means. Like, if you see us win, your mentality might be more like go to war, but thinking we lost, like, oh, okay, we got a bit of a blight here, and then you might drop your levels just a little bit.
I'll be honest, though, Drift. Watching the Arsenal game, I actually don't think Arsenal played rubbish. I just think Villa were just insanely good, like tactically.
I agree. Arsenal weren't crap. They weren't crap. They weren't.
Without Douglas,
I'd say Arsenal played maybe 7 out of 10. Villa just played Alcantara.
They did it without Douglas as well, you know.
And Kamara.
Yeah.
And you know what? The biggest joke I ever got, shout out Curtis, because obviously Curtis is an Arsenal fan legend. Man said, I don't believe it. We let Vibes Cartel duppy our title. When Bailey's I don't believe it.
Yes, Bailey, innit? When Bailey's
I remember when I said McGinn's a player and I got laughed out the room still.
Hey,
did you see
McGinn hustling out here, bro? He was hustling yesterday.
McGinn's about that life.
Did you see when they zoomed in on Bailey when they were all walking off the pitch after the game?
No.
And he just went, 2 pints collectors. I was just like, yo, he's taking liberty.
I'm not gonna lie, for the Jamaican in us, I would love Bailey.
Bailey would be a player at Liverpool. He'll be like he would be.
Yeah. But no, he had me. When Vibes Cartel ended our title reign, I was, I couldn't believe it. Real world boss.
Planet Boy TX says, if we're against corruption, why do we want them to win it? I'd rather Arsenal win it if it's not us. I hate City and what they've done to us. I hear you, Planet Boy. It's the fans of Arsenal, bro. Like living in London, I kid you not, bro. It will be so toxic. I've already said, miss me out if Arsenal win the league. Let's miss me out. Planet Boy, I'm going to break it down like this. Imagine Guna Lee, but physically around you for the whole summer, and times that by 1,000. Times that by 1,000. I see enough Arsenal kicks in my life already. If they go and win the Premier League, it's going to be unbearable.
Right.
Guys, they still talk about Invincibles 2 decades later.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was fresh in the memory, what they've done. Imagine if it was recent, what they've done. They still talk about the Invincibles 20 years later. And don't get me started on if they ever win the Champions League. If they ever win the Champions League, we are in trouble.
And funny enough, I actually don't care if they win the Champions League because we've won it 6 times. I generally don't care. Like we've won it twice since they would have won it once. So I wouldn't care. Shout out to Hannah says, what sickens me is if we had been given a Diaz goal and a penalty against City, we'd be sitting top. So many decisions, Hannah, if I'm going to be honest. Like those are only the 2. Like that's only scraping the surface.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans are just beginning to feel the pain we have felt for a few seasons. Facts.
You know, my brethren actually hit me up and said that. He was like, so hold on a minute. You've been going through this for the last how many years? I was like, welcome to the Terror Dome, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Shout out to Dean says, good evening, lads. We're winning the league. You'll never walk alone. Big up yourself, Dean. Big up.
Big up if you still believe.
I hope you're right.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Look who turned up. I come in peace now. I'm done with this team. I'm on the panel now. The rebrand now. Look at this. This is what I mean.
Man's on the rebrand, but I swear, Lee, you were saying the most on one channel the other day. Literally,
Lee's had more rebrands than anyone I know, bro. Anyone I know. He went from Gooner Lee to Liverpool Lee to Don't Shoot the Messenger.
Who's that
Lee?
one in X-Men that can shapeshift?
Oh yeah,
is it Morph?
Mystique.
Is it Morph? You got Mystique and Morph in it because I think you got Mystique and Morph. I think is the son of Mystique or something in it. But both of them.
Basically, what Lee does is he takes advantage of the fact that you're legally allowed to say you're going out of business 3 times and have that going out of business sale. That's basically what Lee does all the time.
He said he's blue ink. He's blue ink, yeah.
Yeah, bro. You're like, but everything. This shop's always got a sale. What's going on here? Yeah, rebrand.
Jamrock says Cole Palmer is now tied with Haaland on 20 Premier League goals. He is indeed.
He is. But I'm not gonna lie though. Even though you can't take that, well, was it about 7 penalties or something in it? There's a lot of penalties.
More than that. It might be about half his tally of penalties.
I said he's better than Grealish and Doku. They should have kept him.
I think he's better than Doku. I still don't think he's better than Grealish. Quality player though.
He's better than Doku. But I don't know about it's weird one with Grealish. I'm not sure.
Giovanni says, I'll admit it. I don't trust Klopp. I don't think he can deliver it. I hope I'm wrong, but this entire season we've played without control. We're going to speak about that.
Palmer has 9 penalties.
Yeah, I told you about half these goals have been penalties.
Jeez, bro.
Dean says, people forget we seem to do better when everyone is playing against us or doubting us. The fact that everyone's doubting us now is why we win it. Dean, man, I wish I could share that optimism. I really do. I can't at the moment. H says, if we win the rest of our games, we win the league. But hey ho, Fulham going to give us some serious rod, and we'll be asking Divock and Ingsy for some favors. Said serious rod, you know.
I want to see football is nothing without Origi trending for weeks if he scores a winning goal against City or even like the equalising goal against City when they play Forest.
Sultan says the atmosphere at Anfield was a joke for the last 2 games, and the fans are to blame as well for the 2% raise. Foreigners spend £1,000 plus for 1 game. Shake my head. If I'm not mistaken, Hannah, I think you said in the chat you were at the game. How was the actual atmosphere in the stadium? Because watching it on TV is always going to be slightly different. So if you can just shed a bit of light, or anyone in the chat who was at the actual game.
Sultan's echoing what I said though. I do think it's really, really bad the fans thought that it was better to protest at this vital time rather than to just do that stuff at another time. Not during games, man. Not during games, man. They ruined 2 of our last 4 home games under Klopp. Silly, man.
Shout out to Sadiq with possibly the comment of the day, chameleon. Yes, I think that's the one. Just changing colors when it suits him. Shout out to Adnan who says Endo Mac 10 slowest in the Premier League, not a good combo. Oh, I disagree with that. They might be one of the slower pairings, but they are a good combo.
They're not the most athletic, but yeah,
they're a good combo, man.
This is what form can do, though. Form can make you look like, really, really bad.
I'm going to say something. Sorry, really quickly, Joe. I'm going to say something.
Yeah, go on.
Endo, in my opinion, is a brilliant squad player and for me has potentially performed above and beyond his level. Hence, probably drawn us into a full sense of security with him. I think some of us got ahead of ourselves when we said we don't need a DM. I think some of us got ahead of ourselves when we thought Endo. When we started comparing Endo to Rodri and Rice because he played well against them in those individual games, Endo is still a squad player by trade in what we're trying to achieve. And I think we're seeing that through his inconsistencies in form. Endo is a fantastic... You see, if we sign a top DM, but we keep Endo and Bajcetic still about, we literally have amazing depth for DM. Amazing depth. But just Endo by himself, being expected to pretty much do what Rice and Rodri and all these players are doing is pretty negligent for me.
I think he's just tired, bro. If I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, that probably too as well.
Probably tired as well because he's been the ever-present DM since he's kind of been on form. But
And when you're slow already, being tired makes you look way worse.
But hence my point, Drew. Say for example, we had a Ugarte this season. It would have been him and Endo rotating. Endo would be fresh. Ugarte would pretty much be mostly fresh as well. Do you know what I mean? So like we'd be good.
Possibly.
quick question though, how do Man City manage to keep Rodri fresh?
You want me to answer the question, but I'm not because I know that is loaded. That question.
I'm just asking a question, bro.
All right, let me ask you. What's your answer?
He said he's knackered the other day though.
No, I'm asking you. You can't ask me. I ask you.
You want me to answer? You actually want me to answer?
Not how court works.
All right.
all jokes aside, though. All jokes aside, yeah.
All right, I'll give you my answer.
Yeah,
it's because of style of play. City control games. We don't.
Would you also say
we're constantly doing shuttle runs?
This is. I was going to talk about that. That is very, very.
Not yet. We're getting to that section.
Oh,
we're getting to that section. Yeah, it's style of play. Hence why I don't think Arsenal have had injuries like that this season either, or last season. Like, OYB says, if we take to the final day, would you be happy? If we win it, yeah. If we don't win it, no. Like,
no.
like,
For real, man.
Do you know how many times I've been to the final day and it's just crumbled? Like, you see that quad chasing season, you see that last game in the Premier League, that broke me, you know, boys. That literally broke me.
But remember when we scored and
because we thought we'd won at one point.
Villa scored twice, bro. I said, yo, I was going mad. I was going insane, bro.
Promo said, given our history, it's mad how you lot doubted City and favored Arsenal to win. LOL. By the way, Palmer is a baller. Forget the stats. Ice test show it too. Very true. Very true. Promo. Palmer's a baller. Palmer's a baller. Shout out to Beijing Res TV. Go and subscribe to Beijing Res TV's channel. I just picked up Endo off the street in Toronto. He fell off the CN Tower. He ain't right at the moment. Nah, he needs a break, but we have no one to rotate with him. Shout out to Rosa. Says
Steffi Baby's back, by the way. Yeah.
Say again, sorry?
Steffi Baby's back, by the way.
Steffi B. I don't call her next one baby.
Steffi Baby.
No. Steffi B, brother. I only call my wife baby, bro. Shout out to Rosa. Says hot take. We would have won the Prem if we had Mane. Lost his legs, but could put the ball in the back of the net decently. Agree, and I buy math.
I respect that. I respect that super chat so highly.
If Mane was still in, shall I tell you what's difficult about it? Mane's in Saudi and he's not really tearing up trees. The Mane, I don't know if the Mane that left is still the same Mane now, because remember it'd be 2 seasons later. I don't know.
Do you think Mane's a better finisher regardless, though? So even though
then who?
Then do you think about the players that we have now? Yeah.
Come on, Matt. Don't ask silly questions, bro.
I'm asking you.
You're asking a silly question, bro.
But you kind of wrote it off as if to say, but we're talking about 2 years later.
Yeah, because I don't know if the player would be able to, like, still be in a team and being able to function like that.
I think personally,
is he a better Matt, you really just asked me that on live YouTube.
Well, no, because you're trying to dismiss him.
You're disrespecting me, bro.
Bruv, you dismissed it. No. You dismissed it and went,
it's 2 years.
You said it's 2 years later. So I was thinking, where you going with this 2 years later?
No, that's a disrespect, Matt, bro.
You disrespected yourself, bro. You said it.
No, I'm saying, would he still be in and amongst the team 2 years later, bro? And then you got to ask me, is he a better finisher, bro?
Like, why are you asking if you would be in it? No, hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
That's a big disrespect, bro.
No, bro. You should have been like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Mane would easily be able to get in this first 11.
Would he start? No, genuine question. Would Mane start in this 11?
Mane will play up front, bro.
So what about Jota then?
Jota's been injured.
No, but if we're saying we're speaking about an ideal world, if Jota's available, does
Bro,
Mane still
Jota's not.
start?
I'm looking at this. If Mane was in our squad, let's just say Mane's in our squad, we know he hasn't got the same burners. We understand that. But Mane is a finisher with both feet. And anyway, let me not say too much because because remember the segment. I understand he ain't the same player. We know that he's not the same.
I just
Can't
don't know
be
if
the
he'd
same.
start. I don't know if he'd start.
No, but bro, you don't even necessarily need to start though. I'm just saying
if
his
he's in the
presence
squad,
and
then.
his know-how. That's the thing.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Rods. Make sure you guys subscribe to Uncle Rods' channel. One good thing Arsenal lost as well. God is good. Man said God. And all the time. Ads LFC says we can come back in this Atalanta side are not good. We're just not good at the moment. No, that's the problem. We can be at Atalanta at their place, and we can do it by 3 clear goals. I just don't know if we've got that in us at the moment.
It'll be so Liverpool to win 2-0. Liverpool.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, probably.
Musa says Klopp's last season. I fear this will be our last title race for a while. Whatever happens this season, this man's a living legend. No one could have done what he did at Liverpool. I don't think that can be disputed. Gangan Deep said,
true, yeah.
evening guys, I don't know if I'm the only one, but LFC is a club I love but don't like, and I haven't for about 3 years. Club culture needs shifting, ruthlessness and productivity, tired of journeying sentiment.
Man said he's not. Man, do you know what he basically said? I'm not here to collect relationship.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just gonna say it based off the super chat. Because I've been holding this in for months. Liverpool Football Club have fallen in love with being the bridesmaid. We've fallen in love with saying to everyone, remember that season where we chased the quad? We almost did it, you know. We are the club that loves to say we almost did it, you know. Imagine we almost did it. And you know why I can say that with chest? Because when I say things like we shouldn't be drawing that game, or we shouldn't be, people turn around and say you expect perfection. No, I don't. I just don't expect to have Liverpool fans getting onto me for saying we should be winning trophies. I'm shocked that we have a mentality where we go, oh, we can't really challenge for the treble, or we can't challenge for the Prem every season. Sometimes you need a break. And no, not the Shankly team that was created, not the Paisley team. Like, what happened to us as a fan base? And again, I know I'm going to get chewed out for this. I know I am, but it is what it is. We're here now. I am sick of telling everyone about the journey. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of telling everyone I got on the plane to go Disneyland, you know. But when I got there, the gates were shut. I'm sick of it.
Can I add to that?
We are so enamored with wanting to.
Do you want to know what it? Do you want to know why though?
Because of the manager at the moment.
Let me quickly add to that.
No, it's not, bro. It's not.
Bro, there's one other thing.
An underdog.
You missed one thing.
No.
Being 2-2. What's the word I'd say? You see, when it comes to the players, I'm gonna be honest. Certain players haven't been good for a while, and we're too kind to them.
It's none of that.
And no. I generally feel like we're not ruthless enough when it comes to certain players, like just in general. And this isn't this season. This ain't even last season. This ain't even the season before. This is from the season before and before. We hold on to players way too long. I think Pep Guardiola kind of said it. He was like, there's kind of a window where you get the best out of your players and you kind of have to refresh every now and again. And don't get me wrong, no one's not saying you don't respect your players, of course. But there have been players over the years, and I'm guilty of supporting some of these players, where you look at it and go, they should have gone. We should have got rid of them. And I'm not going to go into names now, but they should have left from before. And I think we would have been in a better position than we are now when it comes to certain player recruitment.
One thing before you say we got to say, Drift. If it was up to the manager, we would still have Milner, Henderson, and Fabinho in our squad.
We don't know whether that's true or not. But the point that I will say is
shameless, brother.
All of those things that you said.
You are shameless, brother.
I'm just being honest, bro.
He said,
being
"I can't
honest.
predict the future. I can't predict the future."
But everything you lot have said, there's some facts to it. There's no doubt about it, 100%. But at the end of the day, you know, like, have you ever seen those puzzles where you shift the bits about and you try to figure out how you make the picture be complete? Because obviously the picture's like jumbled up and you got to like slide things and do all that sliding till you make the big picture. So all the things you lot are saying are little individual pieces of the slide. But once you get it right and you've actually completed it and the picture is complete, the picture says FSG. And I haven't moaned about our owners for a while, but your ownership determines the mentality of the whole club. If you have killer owners who care nothing about anything but winning, even somebody like Klopp, let's just say, for example, Klopp wanted to be sentimental, they would say you either got to change or go. They'd be ruthless. So regardless of all these moving pieces, FSG are the reason why we are so happy to be runners up, to compete and all that kind of stuff.
That's wild.
Because it's the level that you go into a season with, the ruthlessness, what they accept. If you can get away with being third and fourth, that means your ownership is setting the standard. Because a lot of clubs, if you finish third or fourth, you get sacked.
But I'm confused because you was happy with this though. When all right, so let me ask you a question.
I never known, bro.
I'm so baffled. Wait,
I never said it was right or wrong. I'm giving you my opinion on the situation.
Right,
I'm not saying
so,
my personal opinion. I'm saying that's what the situation is.
So you're
the
saying
ownership has always been about profit, sustainability, making sure we're ran properly, and anything after that is a bonus. We've never been all about trophies. We've never been ruthless. It's never been. It's never been any of that under FSG because they're
bro. But a manager has neither been.
If Klopp would have got sacked after last season, you wouldn't have been happy. Let's keep it apart. None of us.
If you would have flown to Boston and long time in a killer, man, it would have been rough.
That's what I'm saying. And you would have been like, I don't understand his owners.
That would
they would have got rid
of
an amazing manager who had one bad season, and they haven't given him a chance to turn it around. And let's be real, if this was another Man City, maybe an Arsenal, probably a Chelsea, he probably would have gone. So I know what you mean in terms of, yes, like management, ownership, have a big part to say how the club is run, of course. But you've also got to look at other elements. And another big element is Jurgen Klopp. I think I don't think you can blame this all on FSG, or I'll even say, I say it's a little bit more on Klopp, because when it comes to like, I don't know, playing style, that's Jurgen Klopp. How we set up is Jurgen Klopp. The players that he wants is Jurgen Klopp. The players that he wants to sell, that's Jurgen Klopp. That's not really FSG. Remember, FSG have kind of said, Klopp is the football guru. Let's leave him to do what he needs to do because he is the best. But obviously, if things get to a point where we have to do something, we need to do something. I don't know, bro, if you can really say that's FSG there. I don't know.
Hold on, Drift. Can I ask a question?
It's about ownership.
Do you think that Klopp built up enough trust over his tenure to get full control of transfers and all those things?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
As do I. Bro, Edwards, gone. Ward, gone. Smacker, in. Pep Linders and Klopp making signings.
Linders making signings.
They gave him the keys to the city, bro.
Yeah, they did.
Because he earned it. Remember, if you're looking at Klopp from the outside looking in, because remember, these owners are not football specialists or football man. They've turned around and gone, Jurgen Klopp has delivered every single trophy for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Why are we listening to Edwards over Klopp when Klopp says he wants this and that, but Edwards is saying he wants this? Literally, they gave him the keys to the city. And since he's had the keys to the city, bro, he keeps on leaving the door unlocked.
And what you're saying is true. And I'm not, I mean, there's a few bits I dispute with here or there, but generally speaking, I understand what you're saying. But that still doesn't even, so you can still be right, but what I'm saying is still the fact though, bro. Because it's FSG allowing him to do that.
FSG play a role, but I don't think they're the biggest culprits as of right now, Drift. As of right now.
All I'm saying is your owner dictate, like, to be honest with you, if you work for a company and that company take care of you, right? And they do well by you, you're going to work hard, you're going to try whatever. if that company are like, it is what it is. Even if you're a hard worker, eventually you're going to drop to the standard of the workplace, and you'll probably start maybe turning up late every now and again. You won't do the most. You might go home early because the ownership, the managers, the people around you are dictating how you feel about the situation. It's just natural. So if I'm being honest with you, if Klopp worked for owners that are a bit more ruthless, it probably would make him more ruthless because he wouldn't be allowed to lie within the feeling of this is okay kind of thing. Because he'd know, bro, I'm going to get a kick on the backside. But if the ownership is relaxed about it, then it's never going to make him feel that he's got to be stressed.
But they're not relaxed about it because they stepped him with the Genie Wijnaldum thing and they stepped him with Milner. They step him when they have to.
They stepped in because it was going to cost them money, Cal. They said Genie wasn't allowed to get. They said Genie wasn't allowed to get more money. That's the only reason they stepped in.
But the reason they stepped in with Milner is because they probably looked at him and said, "What the hell are we doing extending his contract instead of buying someone else?"
Because they didn't want to give money to a 36-year-old.
No, it's nothing to do with his age, bro. He just wasn't good enough anymore. He can't even get games.
No, but if Milner was 27, they would have let him extend. It was, of course, it was about his
27. We'd all want him to extend because he'd be good enough to play for Liverpool, bro. He wasn't good enough anymore.
His status.
It was about his age why they stepped in. All right, let's say Milner was 31, but he was performing the same way. FSG wouldn't have said Klopp can't give him an extension. They would have said, all right, go on then. But it's because he was old why they said no. Trust me, bro. Matt, am I lying? If Milner was 31, FSG would have let him get a new contract, don't you think?
Do you think Milner should
most likely. Yeah. I think so.
Drift, do you think Milner should have got a new contract?
No. In hindsight, it was a good idea. I wish he stayed around to be on the playing staff, like to be a coach different. Or something like
we said that coaching, I agree. But in terms of here's the thing that worries me a little bit. But in a weird way, we won't have to see this again. As much as I love Jurgen Klopp, Jurgen Klopp is an amazing manager, and he will be a legend. That will never change. But if there's things that obviously no one's perfect, if there's things that you can say like, "Oh, you wish were a bit different," is maybe his trust in players that have probably let him down. He trusts too many players a bit, way too much, in my opinion. Like that, I've literally let him down. Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I know they've had
injuries, for real. That's over the years. That's not just now.
Like they've actually let him down. They haven't done what they were supposed to do in it. Like whether it was injury or they just haven't performed, but because of the person that he is, he always wants to give someone a chance. He always will do that, and it works for him, but it also works against him. And I do think like us going into this new era, if there's one thing that we can say is that whoever this next manager will be, even if he's similar to Klopp, he won't be Klopp because he's not Jurgen Klopp. We can only hope that there will be a bit of a change in terms of that mentality of if this player is actually good enough, he will play. If he's not good enough, I'm not going to play you. Even like the whole favorites, I get that as well because you play your strongest team. But we kind of always know that Klopp has his favorites to the point where I don't know, like Virgil van Dijk will play 99 games in a row, just come back from a flipping ACL. But because Klopp loves him and we're playing against Bristol Rovers, Klopp will still be like, well, Virgil, that's my guy. He has to play. It's like, bro, we can rest. It's stuff like that where I think we can kind of look at that and go, all in agreement. Those are the things that you look at and go, that could have been a bit different. That could have changed. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
You know, all managers do that though.
No,
Drift,
of course.
Let me cut you both. Now we're speaking about Klopp. Let's get to the next section. And the question is simple, boys. Is this the biggest week coming up in Klopp's tenure as a Liverpool manager so far?
No. I think we've been through worse.
I'm not saying is this the worst week or not. I'm talking about the week coming up.
No,
is this the biggest week?
That's just no. You talking about overall? Sorry, Jeff. Yeah, go on. You go first. Sorry, bro.
I'm talking. Yeah, since he's been in the club.
There's been bigger, bro. There's been bigger.
Yeah, I agree. No, what it is. This is the most recent thing, so it will feel like the biggest thing for Liverpool.
Is it the biggest this year then?
Yeah. This year because it's a defining moment of the season.
Yeah,
but not in his whole tenure. Like, bro, in his whole tenure, we were getting to finals and not winning. And we were thinking, were we ever going to win anything under this brother? Let's keep it a buck because until we won the Champions League, we had already been in was it 2 finals? If I'm not mistaken, before we won the Champions
I'm
League.
talking about in terms of when you add the context to it, bro. This is his last season at Liverpool Football Club. The previous week was terrible.
Yeah,
we've got a week where we've got to go to Atalanta and we've got to try and salvage something for not just for the trophy, but just for our reputation. Then
Yeah.
we've got Fulham away when our away form hasn't been great and we want to keep touching distance in the title race. Forget about like the teams we're playing or anything. I'm talking about how Klopp leaves the club. I think this week coming up could really define his legacy in the way he potentially leaves the club.
For any Liverpool fan, I think we already know, like, if we win we've already won a trophy. It's not the trophy we wanted. We won a trophy. Something that we weren't even too sure whether we would even do. You could arguably say we're overachieving because we this is Liverpool 3.0 or 2.0, whatever it is. In hindsight, yes, you would look at it and be mad disappointed that we didn't do more. But I don't think for me this changes anything. It'll just be like, oh, flip sake, like in Klopp's last season, unfortunately, we only got the one trophy and we couldn't do more, even though we weren't really supposed to when you deep it, but we were there, if that makes sense. But he's done too much good for me to think about this season's going to make me think like lesser of his whole tenure at the club, in my opinion. It would just hurt for this season, like that we weren't able to do more than a Carabao Cup. That's what that would be for me. But he's done more than enough. And someone said overachieving. How? Overachieving because at the start of the beginning of the season, I don't think many people, in my opinion, thought that we were gonna be in a quad or a treble winning potential season. No one, I don't think, would have thought that. I don't think a lot of people thought was going to be in a title race, and some people did, but I don't think it was the majority, it was the minority. So that's why I say overachieving, because the majority was saying.
Sorry to cut you. Just hold that there, Matt, because I was going to ask this question as well. In the Premier League, I think you could argue we're overachieving because most people would have said a top 4 finish. Carabao Cup, I don't think that's overachieving. I think many people expected us to try and go and win that. FA Cup, I think we underachieved there because I think people would have expected us to go for that as well. The Europa League is the one where I think we've massively underachieved if we go out on Thursday, because I think everyone, as soon as we realized last season we were going to finish 5th and we weren't going to get top 4 in Champions League, every single Liverpool fan I know pretty much said we are going to win Europa League. We're winning it. It's
but
us.
When I say overachieving, I'm not talking about. I see someone put overachieving that in Europa. No, what I mean is overachieving for the season in terms of how many competitions that we were still able to be in. Because what I'm saying is, yes, we thought we should win Europa, 100%. That was the one where I say, yeah, we underachieved. But if you're going to then say you're going to pick up the other 3 trophies, or we had the ability. Remember, we had the ability, other than when we got knocked out by Man United in the FA Cup, and obviously things aren't looking too well now in the Prem. We actually had the ability to win nearly every trophy this season. That's why we were half jokingly being serious, talking about quad again. And when I say that, that's in hindsight, because beginning of the season, no one can really sit here and say, well, yeah, we're going down to the last days of not last day, but last weeks of the Premier League, and we're still in contention. I don't think someone might say we should win a Europa and maybe a Carling, maybe. So yeah, maybe we've underachieved in one, but even the FA Cup as well. Remember, we kept on saying about the squad. The squad needs surgery. Even with all the players that we got, we still didn't address our issues. Come on, I just feel like people forget who we were last season. But don't get me wrong, we've done so well to be where we are. Like, so yeah, I get it, but I just think you just got to look at that personally. I don't know.
I'm laughing at you, mate.
I think people forget where we are.
I'm not gonna lie. There's no shame in my game. I was very serious about the quad. I did think.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know you. That's why I laughed when I saw the comment as well. For me personally, though, I think, and again, if people want to take this personal because I'm talking about them, then it is what it is. I just have to be honest. If you believe the next couple of weeks before Klopp goes actually changes his legacy or how you feel about it, like if it changes how you feel about him, you're just doing too much. I think you need to reevaluate a bit, because the man has been a Liverpool legend, regardless of how it's about to end. And why? It's almost like a feeling of wanting to be angry at him or something if you feel that way. Like if you genuinely feel like what's happened this season changes your love for Klopp or changes how you rate his Liverpool tenure. Like this guy, whether or not he won the finals he got to, he had us as European giants for about 4 or 5 years consistently, where I'd probably say we were like top 4 easy. I'd probably
Top
say
three.
Real Madrid, Barcelona. I mean,
No,
how many
forget
clubs are
Barcelona.
actually
Yeah,
bigger
we were
than us throughout that time?
We're top 3, Drift. Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Man City. We've been top 3.
And Klopp did that. He brought us back to the promised land. He's taken us to 5 European finals. Like, or 4 or 5, is it 4 or 5 European finals? Like,
4.
Like no, it's 5 in it because we've been to the Champions League.
Champions
Is
League
it 4
3
finals in the Champions League or
We've
3
been
finals?
3 Champions League finals.
and 1 Europa.
Okay, so 4
1
European
Europa.
finals. So he's taken us to 4 European finals as well. Like, we have been pretty much seen as some of the most dominant teams in the last however many years, as I just said. If all of that means nothing just because he doesn't win the league this season, you're doing too much.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here before anyone goes crazy. You both mentioned he's been to 4 European finals, which is absolutely right. It's a fact. But he's only won 1.
I know, but that's when the context comes into it.
True. But again, he's still only won 1 though.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But
It couldn't beat Real Madrid twice, I guess.
The 17-18, I think that was kind of out of his hands. Hindsight's beautiful with that one because you could turn around and say, well, why did you bring on Alana and play him as a winger and all that? At the time, we all didn't think it would work, but maybe he didn't really trust the others. And we were still in the infancy of what we were trying to become. The last Champions League loss, I don't think there's context around that. We didn't turn up like we should have.
Well, we were the better team. If it wasn't for Courtois having a man of the match performance, we would have won that game.
But we also started the wrong lineup in that game, and the substitutions were bad.
I mean, I don't think that necessarily, especially that Courtois got man of the match. I think it's just literally one of them things. I can remember 3 or 4 of the chances we had. There was exceptional saves from Courtois that I don't think another goalie makes. So, like, look, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's fine. But I do definitely believe that if you are not happy with Klopp's tenure once he goes, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And to be honest with you, I would actually like to ask why you almost have like an anger towards him now, which is what some people seem a little bit when they're like, nah, man, it's not good enough. No, ban that. No, I'm not rating that. It's like, whoa, it's almost like he's turning into a resentment or an anger. Like, really? Okay, fair enough.
Can you not see why some people might feel like that, Drift?
Disappointment, 100%. Resentment or anger? No, not at all. That's entitled.
Why is it entitled?
Because if you think that Klopp should have done better for you to be able to give him a higher rating, then you're acting like you're just meant to win. You're just acting like no, if you don't win, I'm just not giving you the ratings. It's like, that's not really how it works, especially when you're up against Man City and Real Madrid, who are the only 2 teams who stopped us being pretty much impregnable. Like, if you actually deep it, they're the only 2 teams in the last 6-7 years that stopped us being absolutely the greatest side you might have ever seen in your life. We'd have 3 Champions Leagues and we'd have 6 Premier Leagues if it wasn't for those 2 teams.
But if John Jones and Stipe didn't beat Daniel Cormier, he'd be the greatest fighter of all time. But he ultimately lost to them, so he's not, bro. So this is why we're here now. And again, with what you're saying, Drift, I hear it. But again, I'm going to use what we've said. We said Alisson was the best goalkeeper in the world. Trent best right back. Virgil best centre back. Robbo best left back. Fab best DM. Mane best left winger. Salah best right winger. Hendo best captain. Klopp best manager. We've said this. We have said this. God strike me down if we're lying, if I'm lying. We've all said this on this channel over the years. So if we're leaving now with 1 Prem and 1 Champions League, after we've said all of this, we've said it. Can you not see why there's a little bit of annoyance with Jurgen Klopp? if we've not
Football's
achieved.
not played on paper.
Annoyance, though.
Football's not played on paper. So even though those things were factual, or I think they were factual, football's not played on paper. And
But
during
if
that
we
whole
have
time, I
if we have
also
all the things
said,
that's the best, quote unquote. Should we not be doing a bit more?
I mean, I constantly said to you lot and got shot at a lot for saying it. We didn't have the best manager. Pep's the best manager. I always said that. I've had plenty of arguments with this community over that. So I think Pep.
You said the other stuff though. You have said the other stuff.
Yeah. I have said the other stuff, but in the same breath, City have the best DM, the best midfielder. Like, so it's not like we're playing against a team who didn't have full quality themselves.
But we said we had that. We did have that. In my opinion, we did have that.
Yeah, but in a combined 11 with City, it was still pretty even of how many players got into it. It was never a time where it'd be like 9 Liverpool players and only 2 City players. Do you know what I mean? It was never that, even when we were in our heyday. So I still don't necessarily believe that two things can't be right at the same time. That we did have an unbelievable team, but so did City. They've got the better manager, and they also had more money to fix problems. So there was a lot. There was a lot to it. There was a lot to it. But
if you average it out, like they've had a better squad. If you average it out as well,
that's totally fine. That's your prerogative. I'm not angry at you. I just personally ask you why. I think you're doing too much. I just think you're doing. Wait till Klopp goes and the next manager doesn't achieve what Klopp's achieved. That's when people will realize, right, Klopp was doing a lot.
What makes you so certain the next manager won't? Because I see that a lot.
No, I'm not saying it won't, but I believe that what the foundation Klopp's built will have helped him anyway, and B, I just look at how hard it is to play against City and how much we've kind of had one hand time behind our back for a lot of the time he's been here, and still managed to be able to compete to the way we have. And I don't know how many other managers can squeeze that much like diamond out of coal. I just don't know. I don't know how many other managers can do that.
I fully agree with that. Do you not think the next manager could come in and do better than what Klopp's doing with this current set of players though?
Possibly based on this, on the foundations Klopp has laid, yeah. I do think there is.
Forget about the foundation. We talk about the squad that we've got now. Do you think another manager could come in and do better with this squad?
All right. Well, based off of this season only, because we can only base on what we've seen. Right? No point thinking about the future. No other manager in world football does this season what Klopp did with this team. He's the only manager in world football, maybe other than Guardiola, that achieves this season with this squad what we could have or what we could possibly do. Only one, in my opinion.
Okay. What about yourself, Matt?
What do I think? Say that again. So repeat the question,
do you think another manager could have achieved or could achieve more with this set of players or this squad?
That's a hard one to say because Klopp has kind of worked miracles. Not I say miracles, but the mentality to get us back to where we were after last season. Could another manager do the same thing, get better results? Maybe, but then maybe not at the same time. Having those, even though I've joked about it, having those rapports over the how many years with certain players might have helped to get them to overperform, so to speak. I don't know. That's tough because you could easily sit here and say, "Oh, another manager could correct certain things like our structure, the way how we defensively shape up, like after like a counter attack or something. Like avoid like transitions. Can we be better? Are our patterns of play like? Do you think another coach could do better? Yeah, maybe so, but then I don't know whether because of who we are and we're under Klopp, we've been such an emotional team. Can another manager do that with this same set of players? I'll be real. I don't want to sit on the fence here, but I'm not sure.
Shout out to Wino. Here's a quote from Wino, and I'm not saying this is what I agree with. I'm just asking the question. Klopp's virtually used emotion and that motivation, that drive to get the best out of these players.
Yeah.
Could you not argue that that's not the only way? Because I think that's what us as Liverpool fans believe is the only way.
Yeah, of course. That's
could another manager be? And again, I look at Benitez as a comparison. I don't think Benitez does as well with the Klopp team that Klopp built. I also don't think Klopp does very well with the Benitez team that he built either.
But it's like you're asking.
Benitez team's built on tactics. So
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
that's the reason why a manager builds his team for himself, though, Carl.
No,
because
I hear
loads of players. You always hear the manager go, "These aren't my type of players. I need to get rid of these and get my type of players."
No, I hear that. But what I'm saying, Drift, is, for example, Rafa Benitez, for example, with this set of players, we don't score or create as many chances as we do. But I guarantee you, we don't go behind in many games first under Benitez. Like that.
Yeah,
and if we're not
make us more defensively sound, innit? Like,
yes,
100%.
if we're not going behind in games, we're always going to give ourselves a better chance of winning, which means, you know, games can be a bit more relaxed. Let's be honest, Rafa's Benitez's style of football wasn't gung-ho and cutthroat and rock and roll football, and it wasn't as exciting as Jurgen Klopp's football. But it also did preserve some of the players in that era as well.
We're also being very disingenuous to the tactical changes and tweaks during or before games Klopp has been making this season. I can't believe that we're going to be acting like Klopp has literally just been. No, he's been doing very good tactical changes, whether formation or players during games. We've just fallen off of form at the wrong time, guys. Up until March, we were all excited and very content with what we were doing this season. It was annoying we were going behind in games, and we did speak about it, but we were very happy with what we're doing. The last month is just, I think, mentally and physically fatigued. We're just exhausted. Maybe that's the thing, the emotion. It does drain you when you play with emotion.
You can be an emotional team, but still be tactically able. I think what's happened is,
Leverkusen like that.
It's that we've relied a bit too much on our emotion to get us over the line. We're really and truly, I guess what people are saying, and this is where I do agree with them. Just because we've scored a ton load of goals, it still doesn't cover the fact of tactically we've never really been right all season, because we always concede first, which is like we said at the beginning of the season, this better change, and it never did. Transitions wise, I've been saying since the start of the season, we are just really bad in transitions. When we lose the ball, we're just really bad at getting back into shape and setting out what we actually want to do. Where we trying to set traps? The only trap we have is the offside trap, and we allow Alisson Becker to bail us out like 9 times out of 10, which isn't a way that you should play football. But because it got us to where we are, we were kind of just, okay, you're cool with it, because even if you're not cool, all right then, but we're where we are. But what I think a lot of people are saying is, tactically at some point we were always going to get outdone, because you can't continue this throughout a whole season. And what happens is, it's just like in NBA. In NBA, when you get the regular season, full court, up and down, rare-tear-tear, then it becomes a half-court game, and then it becomes about knowing how you can actually break down your opponent. And what's happened with us is that teams have noticed, like Man United keep doing it, man-to-man, man marking, and low blocks really start for Liverpool. Can Liverpool really now break down this defense that we're about to set up? And this is what Palace even done. It was something that we even knew what was going to happen, but unfortunately there was no solution. And because we never worked on it during the season, that is why we are where we are now, in my opinion.
Completely agree. All right. Let me hear up some of these super chats before we move into the next topic. Shout out to Gang and Deep, says, evening guys. I don't know if I'm the only one. Oh no, we've read that one. Big up Gang and Deep. Tribal Kev says, as a City fan, I'm shocked we seem to be inevitable. You do. I can't even deny it. Promo says, Pep wins the quad with this squad, in my opinion. Klopp's tactics are all about pace and power, hence why he favors Sobozo over more technical players like Elliott. Do you agree with that? Do you think Pep with this team this season? Do you think Pep wins all 4?
What, Pep with our team?
Yeah, Guardiola with this season. Do you think Pep wins all 4?
Do you know why that's another difficult conversation? Because I don't think Pep gets certain players. Like I don't people won't like it.
No. Literally, Pep comes in the 1st of September, or the day the window shuts. Pep comes in.
Do you mean Pep Linders or Pep Guardiola?
Oh, Matt, you're disrespecting me again, bro.
No, but when you said Pep, I'm like, what?
Come on.
What, Guardiola?
Yes, bro.
I don't even ask about Linders, innit?
No, you don't rate me. I'm actually top, bro. You don't rate me, bro.
You're saying
You
does
don't
Pep
rate me.
Guardiola do better with the exact team right now? Excuse me, with this. Yeah, I think he gets us playing different style of football.
That wasn't the question though. Does he win the quad, or do we last, or are we top of the league and are we doing better than what we're doing now, in your opinion? I don't know if you call that question just someone else.
Do you know why? Do you know why I'm not too? Do you know why I'm not too sure? This is gonna hurt the fan base. He ain't gonna be happy with the forward line. Still, I'll be real. He ain't got Haaland, and he ain't. I don't know. You know what I will say? We would control games, but in fact, we would do better. I don't know how much. We would definitely do better. We would do better because I know the structure will be completely different, and we would smother teams with our football. Yeah, I'm saying. We would, but I just
can I just ask a question based on that?
Better. I just don't know how much better because I think Pep in it.
When a lot of people say things about managers, what I want you to understand is I hear where you're coming from. I really do. I just try and come at it from a different angle, maybe sometimes so that we can create conversation rather than going down a rabbit hole of everyone just having the same track mind. And a lot of the time, because I actually don't agree with it. All the greatest managers that you've ever seen, and I mean this. There might be an odd exception. All the greatest managers that you've ever seen in your lifetimes, of everyone, all 1,200 plus of us who are watching this right now, have got one real style of play and occasionally will tweak it. All of them. Jose Mourinho, Rafa Benitez, all of these managers, they might have tweaked here and then. Rafa might not be a good example because he was very pragmatic against the opposition, but all the greats that you can think of had their style and they just got the players who could play their style. So it's kind of weird when people say things like Klopp's only got one way of playing. So did Wenger. So does Arteta. So does most of the big managers. How many times did you really see they had a system and they stuck to it and they didn't care about the opponent? They won playing their way.
But
most of the top managers do that.
Isn't that the difference between the top managers and the elite managers, though?
But all the elite managers that I've seen win everything, maybe some of them were in different times, they very rarely ever changed anything. Man United, for about 20 of their 26 years, played 4-4-2, a support striker off the main striker, had width, had bullies in the middle.
Of football, bro.
How many times did you watch Ferguson and you was like, I can't believe what a beautiful, he went free at the back, then he did this. He still pretty much would most of the time stick to 4-4-2 and do little tweaks.
4-3-3 though.
Just because the
how often did he play 4-3-3?
Nani, Ronaldo, what?
Bro, the formation and then
once he switched, how often did he change then? He just stuck with that tactic.
You're just talking about error. You're just talking about error. That's an error when 4-4-2 was in that era. When Ferguson realized he had to move to 4-3-3,
he went to 4-3-3 and then he never changed again. He just stuck with
4-5-1. He played 4-2-4. Bro, Ferguson changed.
Klopp's done 4-2-4. Klopp's got 4. Everybody does it now and again. I'm talking about for the majority of the time. The majority, for 80% of the games, they played that way. Klopp changed and tweaked things. So what are we doing here then? We're gonna Klopp's never changed the formation, or Klopp's never.
No, we're not saying that. But is he as tactically as flexible with his tactics,
flexibility
as Pep? Would you say, in your opinion?
No, he's not as tactically flexible as Pep.
He's not as tactically.
Would you say his
Ferguson was either?
Quick, this serious question. Would you say his tactically flexible as Unai Emery?
But everybody kind of says Emery only plays one way as well. That's what people say. Emery plays one way.
What do you mean play one way? You can say that about Deserbi. Someone like Deserbi, I would say play one way. But I would
that's why everybody says you know how to play against Villa, because the way he plays is the same all the time, and you just have to work out how to.
Who said that?
What?
Everybody's been saying this season, when you play Villa, as long as you exploit that high line, you can beat them because he sticks to his principles. And then as long as you get around it, same like Ange, they stick to their principles. And as long as you figure it out, you can beat them because they don't change the way they play.
No,
Everybody's been saying that all
because he
season.
plays one way. I'm talking about managers that play. Literally, we put it like this year. Pep Guardiola will look at his opponent. Remember, the idea is still the same, but the tactics can still change. when it comes to Unai Emery, Unai Emery might go to a back three, a back five, a back four. The idea is still the same, but they will still basically, in my opinion, I call them like multifunctional coaches that like they have tactics that they can actually like on play, they can adjust. We can't really adjust like that. Like, for example, I don't think we're tactically as fluid as we should be. That's what I think is a big issue. Because if you see how with the whole inverting thing, that's the only thing we can really say that we kind of really changed under Jurgen Klopp. Would you say
in my opinion, no, what you lot are saying, I'm not even saying is wrong. Yeah. But in my opinion, there's a reason why there's a sell-by date on elite managers. And the reason why Benitez can't do it anymore, Mourinho can't do it anymore, Wenger couldn't do it anymore. Because the way they play, generally speaking, becomes outdated, or people have figured out, or times have moved on. Because what is it about Mourinho why he can't do it anymore if it's not for the way he plays? He's not an old man. He's younger than some other managers. Why is Mourinho done then? Why is he a crap manager now?
Because he's stubborn.
No, because he was a elite cow and he wanted to play football his way. And once his way didn't work anymore, he started to fall off a bit. Because he wants to play the way he wants to play. That's like Klopp. Klopp can change, but he believes in his way of playing. Wenger was not a crap manager out of nowhere. His style just stopped working.
But what you're saying, stubborn, right? But what you're saying is kind of self-explanatory.
No, it isn't stubborn.
Believes in their tactics.
No, but the point I'm proving is most of the elite managers are very stubborn within how they want to play, and they'll change.
What about Guardiola?
No, but Guardiola's a current manager, and he's an anomaly, Cal. There's going to be difference to all the rules. He's arguably the greatest manager of all time. That's a bit different. But I'm telling you now, if you go and look at the way all the elite managers play, the reason they become outdated is because the way they play becomes something that doesn't really work. Otherwise, Benitez, Mourinho, Wenger, these men could still be winning leagues and be top managers. Because what's different about anything other than the way they play doesn't work anymore? How can you be outdated without it being different to what's happening now?
Okay, but Klopp's a current manager, though.
So yeah, and I think Klopp's way still works if he's got the right players. I think if he's got the right players, his way still works.
Do you think the tactics are right? It's just more...
Yes, I do. We're having 20 shots a game, and if our forwards finish their dinner, we'd win all our games.
Matt, we're going to the next section. Sorry. All right, let me help the supers, and then we'll go into the next section. All right. H says Rodri don't play ride or die, La Familia, Danker, Jurgen, veins, blood vessels, and sweaty football. Endo gangster, but Klopp ball and 6 pickney. Man is rubbed. Shout out to the Herbs, man. The Herbs man also goes to say, sorry guys, I'm riding with Dean. We are going to win the league. I'm not delusional. Laughing face. Look, I don't even get at people who still think we can win the league. Mathematically, it's possible. So I can't. Makuma, says we shall see what Klopp was about once he is gone. Once a new manager comes in, we will see the comparisons. We'll see some comparisons. H says Klopp's legacy will always be one of greatness to me, but this end to the season is massive. If we capitulate, his system style will forever be criticized. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Gangan Deep says record books doesn't look at context. He got us to the pinnacle, and pound for pound is elite, but he massively underachieved for the peak squad. Klopp's comments, i.e. spoilt for top 4, I care about friendships, not trophies, grated me.
I hear that.
I forgot about that spoilt for top 4 comment. That triggered me last season, I can't lie. Fritz Frank says, should the cyclists that finished second to Lance Armstrong be mad at themselves and or their trainers or at Lance? Also, big up to you all. Keep up the good work. I fully get your sentiment. The problem is they were all cheating. It weren't Lance was just cheating better. They were all cheating. Like Liverpool, from what I've seen, haven't cheated. City, from what I believe, have cheated. Like all
No,
them
no, bro.
sides-
He means when he says the trainers, he's talking about the person who lost. Should they be angry at their trainers, not Lance?
Oh, sorry.
You get what it's like the person who's finished second, is he angry at himself? Is he angry at his trainers? Or is he like, no, my man was cheating. We did our job. This brother was a
but
cheat.
they were cheating as well, Drift. That's the problem. They were cheating.
Who, the coaches of the other people in the race?
All of them were cheating, bro. It's just that Lance did it better than everyone else.
Oh, don't laugh. So even the people coming second and third were cheating as well.
Yeah, bro. Like,
oh shit, I didn't know that. Oh, well, then Lance should be a winner. Then he's just the best cheater. Give him the team, man.
Yeah,
man said he's the best cheater. You know? He's just the best.
Ancelotti changed tactic to win a Champions League versus Liverpool. We did. Luwazi says Klopp literally stole the inverted fullback from Pep, bruv. Let's all be honest. The inverted thing doesn't work. Reason why Pep binned the idea. I agree. Vagabond said still can win the league. A big up Kopish.
Team still. I can't even lie. Pause.
Kang A, sorry, says the peloton took piss at lads at back, not doping. Peloton.
I'm not quite sure what he means.
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure.
But just before we move on, Cal, as well, I just want to ask a question to people, and you guys don't answer. I just want to ask the people. I just want to see.
I hope you say one of the questions.
For everyone who's saying that Klopp doesn't know any other way of playing, did Klopp play differently when he was at Dortmund to the way he plays at Liverpool?
Yeah, trust Drift just to just mash up the thing, innit? Man just couldn't help himself. Man,
what was that going to be? Next
man
segment?
just couldn't wait for the next segment, bro.
No, you're actually a habitual line stepper, bro.
Bro,
you get up on seeing me get twisted up in knots, bro.
Bro, how was I supposed to know that, bro?
Oh, flips.
You should have just wrote in the thing, bro.
Composure, Cal. Okay, guys. So let's move on to the next topic. Klopp. Look at me, rattled now. Klopp played a 4-2-3-1 at Borussia Dortmund. However, at Liverpool, he predominantly played a 4-3-3. When you look at stuff like that, you could argue Klopp has been tactically fluid because he's not taken the same style from one team to another. However, given the quality and the qualities of the player, could you not argue that Klopp is still playing players in positions they shouldn't be in, rather than making tactical tweaks to get the best out of the players he's got? Matt, I'll start with you first. You can think about your behavior for a sec, bro.
So you're basically saying did Klopp play the same way at Dortmund than when he was
I'm saying we've seen Klopp tweak from what he was doing at Dortmund to what he does at Liverpool. Could you not argue that Klopp is, instead of playing a system that suits the majority of the players, Klopp is playing a system and making players try to adapt to his system? And if so, do you think he's right for doing that?
No, he's wrong for doing it. Look, here's the thing. All right, so we used to be this high octane, gegenpressing, mad manic team, yeah, which didn't really work until we had to kind of slow things down a bit. Now he's tried to turn us into slightly more controlled possession team, but at the same time, he still wants us to be high octane. It can work, but I feel like he hasn't mastered what he needs. For example, for this to work, you don't even need to invert. You don't need to keep thinking of you need someone like Henderson. This whole thing that we even say, like the Henderson role. Like, bro, we don't need a Henderson role. We just need tactics that are going to be effective. But again, we will still see traits of seasons before where we go, I trying to do what he did with that person to make him do that. We don't need that, bro. It's something that's actually quite simple. High line. You, oh,
sorry, Matt. Sorry.
I was going to quickly say something. Let me quickly break it down. Right. High line, you can still play high line. Doesn't need to be as high. Virgil van Dijk is not 21, not 21, but you get it. He's not 27 anymore. We could maybe drop back a bit, yeah? When it comes to defensive transitions, make sure players understand where they need to be. Stop players doing one-man gegenpressings by themselves and then realizing no one is going along with them. Secondly, when it comes to getting the ball in and around the 18-yard box, look for patterns of play instead of inshallah and crossing. Bro, it is so jarring. And not only that, stop spamming if you can't find an opening. Create something. Use a blueprint. Look how you can break a team down. Look at their weaknesses. You can overload on one side. Hasn't always got to be the same thing. The problem with us is we literally just do that whole thing of we're just going to keep knocking at the door until the door opens. That's what we do, bro. We just knock down at that door and we just think, yeah, we're going to get in at some point. Man, we'll just keep smashing the door. At some point, we're going to get in. That's what we do, in my opinion. And I just think there's certain things that he could have changed or not changed, and we would have been better off. Because I think, like I said before, it's all happening now at the business end of the season where teams do know how to play against us and we don't really have an answer. And that's because I feel like tactically we've never really been where we should be. And I also feel like as well defensively is one thing that I feel like we've kind of neglected because he feels like we've got the best goalkeeper and the best defender in the world.
Whoa, man. Yeah.
And it's part of the segment, though.
No, not yet, bro.
Oh.
Wow, man. You lot always taking food out of the Dutchie put, innit? Raw. Can't wait till the dish is dished out now.
Stole the script, innit? Sorry, bro.
Drift. You constantly made a point of saying, which again is something I agree about, we are getting 20 plus shots a game and things like that. However, you've never spoken on the other side of it because tactics isn't just scoring goals. Tactics is also not conceding and game management. So from an attacking standpoint, I also agree with Matt. And I think this is where two things can be true at the same time. I think we do keep on knocking at the door, which means we have 20 plus chances, but also our patterns of play in the attacking third are very, very predictable and become stale, in my opinion. But from a defensive tactical standpoint, do you think Klopp's done enough?
It depends which way you look at it, because the way we play is high risk, high reward. It's crazy. I don't even necessarily believe that they're all rubbish at pressing, but you see our front line, I think one of the keys that people aren't understanding, or maybe they do understand, they just haven't realized or forgotten, is it's about the players when you're trying to implement your system. So you see the way we're playing right now, yeah? It's always been high risk, high reward. That's how we play, right? But I ask you like this, yeah? Forget about from a goal scoring point of view. Forget the goal scoring when I'm going to ask you about this front three. Just think about the defensive role from a front three point of view. If you swapped Nunez with Firmino and you swapped Diaz with Mane, but everybody else in our team was the same, do you know how much better we would be and how much less chances we'd have against us? Because Bobby and Mane's pressing was insane. And teams weren't even getting the chance to get at our team back then because we were so relentless. We were winning the ball so high up the pitch that maybe our defenders weren't even as great as we thought they were. So it was more to do with the team defended better from the front.
Sorry to cut you, Drift. Sorry, and I'm going to keep on cutting you, bro. So apologies in advance. Could you not argue that if Arsenal had Van Dijk instead of Gabriel last season and, I don't know, Haaland instead of Jesus, that they would have won the league last season? I'm asking about the players we've got because we can always look at yesteryear and probably you could turn around and say, what if Gerrard was in this team, we'd be invincible and would win the treble and everything, but they're not in this team. So given what we have in this team, should the team not be tactically tweaked to accommodate what we have or haven't got? Because
Yes and no.
it's easy saying if we had a prime Henderson, if we had a prime Mane, a prime Firmino, a prime insert X name, but we don't have those players.
Prime
So
Wijnaldum.
do we not have to deal with what we have rather than saying we should have had a prime X, Y, and Z because we've got the players we've got now?
Yeah, yes and no. It's a difficult one because people are going to think I'm wild with some of the analogies I might use during this, but like, I get it. You need to win games. The result is most important over everything. I understand that, of course, in top level sports, that's always the case. But I do want my manager to enjoy what he's doing. And if he doesn't believe that he's going to do the best playing that way because he doesn't believe in it and it's not what he wants to do, it does sound stupid to say that when you're at the elite level, when you're trying to win. But I get where he's coming from. You have your principles, the way you want to play, which is why you became a manager. And then you want to just keep on plugging away at what that is until people get good enough at it that it works, rather than just going, right, do you know what, this and this isn't working. I'm just going to be pragmatic, for an example, and I'm just going to do this, play 5 at the back, go with the back 3, you know what, and we'll be more sure that we won't have as many shots against us, etc., etc. But if he's on the sideline and he's not even really believing in what he's doing, he's just doing it for the result, he's doing it to get people off his back because they're going to say you should have done this, right? And then we're kind of winning games, but it's really horrible to watch, but we're getting results, whatever, and he's not happy with it, that would be crap. It would be a manager doing something he doesn't even believe in. And if that's the case, then technically just get anyone to be the manager and then tell them this is the best thing to do for this, to do this. You get a manager because you believe in what he does as an individual. Whatever his philosophy is, whatever it is that he likes, the way he plays, you hire him for that reason.
Hold on, so Drift, I don't want
so let him do what he wants to do.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're saying you'd rather him not tactically change because he might not be happy with the style and play, even though we're winning games, but it just doesn't look as pretty or it might be horrible to watch.
No, I'm saying I don't want my manager to not believe in what he's doing, to shut everybody up or to get everybody off his back.
But Drift, if he made tactical tweaks and let's say we played against Crystal Palace yesterday and I don't know, we played like very compact and we won the game 2-0 or 2-1. Wouldn't that be better than how we played and then losing 1-0?
But yesterday, as an example, it wasn't the tactics yesterday why we lost. It was the players just weren't good enough on the day. It wasn't the tactics why we lost yesterday. It was
but
it wasn't the tactics, bro. The players just weren't executing what they were supposed to do properly and they weren't playing well. Nobody played well.
So you don't think tactics had anything to do with yesterday's game?
No, because it was the tactics that we've been used to playing for a very long time.
But just because we're used to playing it doesn't mean that they can't be wrong on a day, bro. Doesn't mean
they didn't even implement the tactics. They were just crap. The players were all over the place. It didn't look to me like they were even trying to implement the tactics we've been used to us playing. Nobody was really.
So from your point of view, bro, what were the tactics yesterday? What were the attacking tactics?
The attacking tactics were pretty much what they always are. We keep possession in the midfield, we wait for the runners, and we execute passes where and when necessary.
But we
That's pretty much how. Yeah, exactly. We were trying to. We just weren't doing it well.
I actually don't think we do that as a team. I don't think we actually do that as a
Since
team.
we go into the inverted system, that's what I believe we do. We overload the midfield, we get more possession, we create spaces, and then our forwards make runs, and then we find them. I mean, sometimes you just go front to back with the long kicks from Kwanzaa, Virgil, etc. And when we don't have the ball, we press high and we try and win the ball back. But we're just not good at it anymore because people like Nunez and Diaz and Salah aren't good at pressing. They're just not. Like, if you swap them for better pressing.
So what's the defensive tactics then, bro?
Defensive tactics are to squeeze with the midfield, with the front, keep obviously only a certain amount of space in between the players when we have the ball. And then when we don't have the ball, when we don't have the ball, and then when we have the ball, obviously the defenders kind of back out a bit, leave the midfielders to do what they're doing, and we kind of go to a back 3. And that's why there's space out wide of either side of us defensively, because we kind of in possession go to a back 3, so to speak, and then we pack the midfield out. So it depends whether you're talking about from a defensive point of view or from an attacking point of view, what we do defensively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do you know one thing I was thinking about now? You see how you mentioned before about how Mane and Firmino were excellent pressers of the ball, and rightly so. They were like the best, in my opinion. Right? Klopp's still trying to
Coutinho and Lallana before them were brilliant at it as well.
Here's my issue. Klopp's still trying to replicate it with players that we all know can't do that. And it's like, if they can't do that, why not find another way? And this is where I understand you talking about managers have a certain way of playing, but I also feel like, for example, we never played the same way we did in 1920 to win the league to how we was in 17-18. Like 17-18, we were literally just like madmen, just going crazy. But 1920, we were like more calculated. Yeah. What I'm baffled about when I deep it now, is like Klopp knows Mane and Firmino are not Nunez and Diaz. Like, even just from a defensive point of view, why are we still doing this? Like, if the players can't do what the other players used to do, why are we still doing it? That's why I think it hurts us more.
Because you have to keep trying until you get it.
But this is why I feel like it hurts us more defensively. And this is why I've been saying, like, defensively is actually, it's probably really bad. Like, attacking wise, I think we are good at times. We are good, even though there's problems. But from a defensive point of view, yeah, that's where I feel like it's really bad, because you've got Mane and Firmino that used to be so amazing. Like you said, just press from the front. They can't even like get close to us, rod the ball off them. There's no attack there. But Diaz and Nunez, they can press, but they're not as intelligent pressers. So people are gonna goes past them, and before you know it, the first phase of the press is already broken. So therefore, your whole defensive tactics has just been nullified by phase one. And it's like nothing is. When I deep it now, it's like, bro, nothing has changed, you know, from the start of this season, where we could see like what was happening. Hence why we're like first part of the game, like we're all over the place. People don't even know what they're even doing. It's like, hold on a minute, what's going on there? The team in a one attack, players are all like happy, trying to chase the ball and dragging ourselves out of position. It's like, Klopp, bro, if you know that these players, they might have the same energy or whatever, but if they're not as intelligent, don't use the same tactics. And then defensively, we actually might be better. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just think
but like I said, but then you don't practice that way of playing. You like he in his opinion, they'll eventually get it. He obviously sees something in training that he believes eventually with repetition they'll get it. So he wants to use that as like as a continued thing. Whether it's right or wrong, that's just what I believe. Because if you have a system,
you're right. But
if I keep on drilling you with that system, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm not trying to shade Salah in any way when I say this. I'm just looking at something that seems like a rational thing to me. It was not even just about the patterns of play and cohesion for me, which I think was a big help when Salah was away, or Salah might be a problem coming back into the team. I think Salah's pressing is the worst out of all our forwards. Sometimes it's not even existent. When Jota or Diaz or whatever was playing on that right side, they were pressing better. So I think as a unit, we were pressing better from the front, which inevitably will add to everything flowing and being a bit better in that way. And if you think about it, down our right side is the side of our pitch that's probably the most vulnerable defensively, right? And it's especially when Trent used to play. Trent, Szoboszlai, Salah, that's the right side. And it's probably the most, we always normally say it's the side you can get at a bit easier. And we can't even really say it's the inverted thing too tough, you know, because we played left back inverted and the right side has still been attacked. Do you get what I mean? Remember, Joey used to go left back and invert and we still get attacked down the right. So we can't say, oh, it's definitely because we're inverting, because it didn't happen when we inverted from the other side. I truly believe that the pressing from the front, Salah's become an issue with that as well. He has, like Jota or whoever was playing right side of the forwards, pressed better. And that's why we also looked better during the time Salah was out the team.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. But did we look better? Because here's the thing now. So on that right-hand side, you've got, if it's Klopp's first team, he would go Trent, Szoboszlai, and Salah. Trent don't really want to defend how he used to because he wants to play Sancho and he wants to be in midfield. So he doesn't really want to defend. Salah's not, like you said, the same player who probably has the same endurance that he used to. So again, like, he's not going to track back like how he used to. So that leaves it to one person to do all the running, aka Soboslai, who's getting the most criticism because he's asked to do some one man. Like, I get it, he's athletic, but you know what I mean? He can't do everything. If Klopp looked at that, he could actually change that and solve that. Like what Kyle's been saying, what I've been saying, and I think you've been saying as well. Just one thing you could do to slightly alter it. Don't play Trent at right back, because then you've got a right back that actually wants to defend, and you've got a right mid that wants to defend, or a right centre mid. But it's only really the right winger maybe that you kind of have to kind of like allow to kind of, okay, he's not the greatest. But to have 2 out of 3 that are not really willing to put in the hard yards defensively, of course you're gonna have a problem on the right hand side. And we don't pick the team. We don't, obviously. We can only say what we suggest, what we think is the best. But if we're all being real with ourselves, we probably all would have said from time ago, we at least should try Trent right CM. Just try it. Put a Bradley there. If Salah's really off form, put someone else there, whether it's Javier, but just put someone, try something. But because we never done it at the beginning of the season, we didn't try nothing new when things weren't really at their peak. We just let it go, and now look what's happened. Because it's always been our right side, you're right, Truth. It's got nothing to do about it being inverted. It's about the personnel that's there, in my opinion.
Can I also say something as well? And this isn't aimed at you, Drift, but I think the narrative of saying that we were better without Salah in the team is weird, because if I was to turn around and say in that same period, Conor Bradley was playing instead of Trent, does that automatically mean that Trent, because Conor Bradley better for the team then? Also, Harvey Elliott was playing right centre midfield a lot of those games. So does that mean then we should be going with Conor Bradley and Harvey Elliott as the right back and right centre midfielder? Because I'm not hearing anyone with those shouts. I'm not hearing any. All I've been hearing is the moment Trent comes back, Bradley's got to sit on the bench. So if people are using that narrative for saying we were way better when Salah wasn't in the team, we've also were better in the same period when Trent wasn't there. It was Bradley playing at right back. So why is the energy?
But people have been saying that, Cal. I've heard anybody say drop Bradley for Trent. I've heard everyone say Bradley should play. I've heard everybody say play Trent in midfield when they've said play him. I haven't heard anybody say play Trent at right back.
What? That's all people have been saying, bro.
Play Trent in midfield. Everyone who I've heard say play Trent said play him in midfield. I haven't heard anybody drop Bradley.
Best players.
All right, fair enough. I haven't seen any of that personally.
All right, I'm going to read you out some stats, boys. So Liverpool this season in the Premier League have faced an average of 10.7 shots per game. Arsenal this season in the Premier League have faced an average of 8.4 shots. And Man City have faced an average of 8 shots. Add on to that we all sit here and we don't really rate Raya as a goalkeeper like that. We all sit here and we say Ederson with the ball at his feet is brilliant, but as a shot stopper and as a goalkeeper, the fundamentals leaves a lot to be desired. And we all adamantly sit here and say Alisson Becker is the best goalkeeper in the world. Is there not a situation and a problem with the fact that we are conceding more shots than the other two we're competing with, and the fact that we're relying on the best goalkeeper in the world to bail us out? From a tactical standpoint, for me, that's extremely negligent and kind of taking the mick, personally. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that.
I think it's a bit arrogant in a sense of, we'll play this high line. High line does work well normally when you try and catch people offside, but when it doesn't work, which it not always going to work, you're just asking Becker just to kind of like do his thing, so to speak. It is a bit, there is negligence there. I think Liverpool, again, I just think defensively we were better shaped in 1920 season, 1920 season, 18-19. I don't know, because here's the thing, Virgil's obviously older, but the line is still just as high. You're asking to cover a lot of ground. You're asking Ibu, because now we invert, Ibu Kwanzaa now has to cover the whole right hand side if we do invert. Not only that, there are times when Bradley goes like really, really far forward. They see the space, hit the ball in behind there, get drawn out. I don't know. I just think defensively as a whole, like we're just not at the races, bro. I don't think tactically, like we're there. Personally, I just don't think so. I think it's something that the next manager will definitely work on, though. He won't want to see us like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and again, like someone just said it, as I'm about to say it just now, bigger Android. We are prime Fabinho. Remember, prime Fabinho and prime Endo. Like, there is a big difference as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Fabinho, you could arguably say was world class, at least maybe for 2 years, but Endo's just, Endo's been decent. So I don't know, man.
Drift.
Look, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and that's just the nature of life, especially in sport. Klopp's played this way, and even though there are some faults to it, which are, we can all say, it's why we're here. It's why a month ago we thought we could possibly win 4 trophies in the same season. I think if he changed his formation and then we didn't win, people would say, why did you change what was working? And if you keep doing it and eventually it stops working, people say, oh, your tactics weren't good enough in the first place. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I think people all have valid points to what they're saying. I think this is a type of conversation that means nobody's actually wrong. Like everybody who has their take on it or whatever, on any given day, that take could be the better idea, could be right. Someone else's could be on another day. I just look at the way we're playing, and I think a lot to do with what's happening now is more exhaustion mentally and physically from just what's been a very draining season. And sometimes that just is what it is. If you don't have enough to get over the line, you don't have enough. Like,
But
you know what I mean?
Why do we look?
It didn't work.
Why do we look mentally drained, physically and emotionally, and Man City and Arsenal don't?
Because Liverpool's style of play is more aggressive and more intense, generally speaking. So it does take more out of the players than the other players generally throughout games. So I think we always end every game more tired than the opposition. And then if you like, I don't really care what other people think about, oh, you cry and get the violins out or whatever. But we have had a lot of controversy this season happen to us. That's also so draining. We've been lied to the most from the PGOL and all their thingies. The situation with the Tottenham game, trying to adapt to a brand new midfield that's never been done before, where the whole midfield gets changed just within one summer. Then Klopp says he's leaving. All of that emotion starts piling on top of everything. Then our director of football changes. We've had all these announcements, the thing with Edwards. There's so much going on, preparing for life after Klopp. There's so much that's gone on with us this season. Not even, and I didn't even mention the barrage of injuries where at one point there was 11 first team players all out at the same time. Like, there's been a lot of shit that we've gone through this season. Not making excuses. I'm just giving factual evidence as to why I believe we could be mentally and physically tired. A lot of the players in this team have been playing for weeks without other people. People like Nunez, McAllister, Van Dijk. These brothers have played through the madness and they're still playing. They probably just want a break for a week. Imagine how much running McAllister's done in the last 3-4 months. Do you know how much running Nunez has done in the last 3 or 4 months? These men must be knackered. So I ain't giving excuses because that's what people are going to say. But we most this season out of the teams trying to win the title, and emotionally, I think we've been through the most. Give or take a few injuries for Arsenal, they pretty much had a very positive, plain sailing time with no real issues, no on or off the field stuff. It's just Partey and the Dutch guy they bought, and they've been some long-term injuries. Them two aside, they've been all right, really. Jesus, I know he's had a few issues, but they've been all right with it. Man City. They do have the 115. That's probably hanging over them.
No, Man
but
City
that's been hanging over them for a while.
You can't do that. This is what I'm saying. We can't do that. Man City have had Stones out for an extended period. They had De Bruyne out, and they've had Haaland out.
Rodri was out, not mad amount of
Yeah,
games.
fair enough. Fair enough. They have had some injuries. You're right, but I still caveat that a lot of those didn't
Oh yeah, Haaland.
really cover each other. They were like one
De Bruyne and
one was
Haaland were
their
out at the
kind
same
of thing.
time.
Yeah, Haaland was out for time, remember?
Grealish as well. Grealish was injured.
Yeah,
right
but
at
I'm
the
sure
beginning.
it's only maybe a few weeks though in between their crossover and then De Bruyne was back. There wasn't that much of a time when it was both of them. And even so, I give you that granted. Then they have had a few injury problems. Fair enough. They have had some injury issues. But I still believe Liverpool overall have had the biggest mentally going on this season. We've had a lot. There's been so much going on at Liverpool this season. But
All right. I'm going to break it down to 3 questions. Out of Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, who do you think has the best defensive tactics? In fact, rank them. Best to worst. Matt, I'll go you first. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. Best to worst defensive tactics.
Arsenal, City, Liverpool.
Drift?
it's a tough one because this season isn't exactly a good example of it. But I think it's City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Cool. From a game management standpoint, Drift, I'll start with you this time. If you rank them from best to worst, from game management.
Offensively, did you say?
No, just game management.
Oh, City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Matt?
Same.
And then from an attacking standpoint, Matt, I'll start with you this time first.
When you say attacking, what do you mean exactly?
Attacking tactics.
Attacking tactics, yeah?
Yeah.
Arsenal, City, Liverpool.
Drift?
Liverpool, City, Arsenal.
So I ask you, and I'll ask again, if we're ranking 3 out of the 2 metrics, and forget about Pep because Pep is a phenomenal manager. If we're ranking tactically below Arteta in 2 of the metrics, for me, that's not good enough. And that's my point I've been saying all season. Arteta should not be out tacticking Jurgen Klopp. Not Mikel Arteta. Guardiola, I can live with that. No, I'm not even meaning to throw shade at Arteta or Arsenal here. But ain't no way in hell 2 of the 3 metrics we should all be in agreement that Arsenal are better than Liverpool. No way. And that for me is the reason why we're in the situation we're in now. Because throughout the season, we have been relying on individual brilliance in certain games as opposed to tactics. I watched Man City play certain games and all of them, they're just patient in their build-up play. Patient. They look for the angle. If it's not there, they won't force it. With us, the moment we get on the ball, if we don't get the desired outcome after 2 or 3 passes, someone just gets the ball and just shoots randomly.
I don't even know why I'm laughing, bro. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's so.
Yeah,
true.
but I'll be
just,
honest with you, though. A couple of people have made
panic,
some good points.
bro.
Arteta being schooled by Guardiola is kind of just using what Guardiola would use, really.
But that's absolutely fine.
Arsenal and City attack very different. They attack very different.
No, but what he's implementing will have still been things Pep would have shown him. So
there's similarities, but do you know the difference?
But they still play very different as well.
All right, do you know the differences though? You see when Kevin De Bruyne plays and when Foden plays, yeah, when they attack slightly different. But one thing I noticed about Arsenal, I would even say like their main hub of attack is Odegaard. He's the one that drifts in between the lines that's able to offset a defense, and you'll see the runners. I'm not saying everything relies on him, but he is. But no. But Odegaard, but they're different players though. In terms of Kevin De Bruyne, won't offset it like that. Kevin De Bruyne will use his vision and his insane passing to create something. Odegaard can manipulate because Odegaard obviously younger and being like Odegaard a bit more nimble. Odegaard can offset a defense, you know. It's actually so wild.
Yeah, but that's the individual. That's not the tactic.
No. But
that's the individual's ability.
Let me land.
Catered to that drift.
they cater to what he's doing. So imagine, I'm saying like he will be for me their main attacking like threat. When Arsenal attack, if Odegaard will 9 times out of 10 be there, he's the hub. He offsets the defense. Everything else is fluid. I'm just saying the difference though. And if you watch KDB is very, very different to Odegaard. KDB is getting into that half space and he's looking for Haaland straight away. In fact, he's looking for anybody in that danger zone. Obviously, they can still do swashbuckling. They can still do swashbuckling football. But what I'm saying is, if you watch the way how Arsenal do it, I would arguably say Odegaard being the hub is kind of like what KDB used to be. But watching, I hate to say it, but Odegaard, bro, watching him and seeing what he can do, it's different to KDB. KDB is more like, he's more direct than Odegaard.
You're talking about the individual's ability, not the tactic. If you go and look at how City played when Arteta was...
Let me say this. Okay, they're a patient, possession-based footballing teams. That's what they are, though, bro. They're both patient. Bro, and they look for their openings. We don't look for openings. We force it.
Bro, when Arteta was Pep's understudy, that was how players like Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne played for City. City played differently now, yes, but while Arteta was there, they played very similar to the way Arsenal play now. People are forgetting that Arteta was there when they were doing things like yours and using that half space and doing those things. It's just Odegaard's a different type of player, so obviously his individual talent is going to change things slightly based on the tactics. You can have a similar tactic, but a player's ability can allow you to be different within the same tactic. So Odegaard might be a little bit better with back to goal and certain things like that. But Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne used to still do similar things for Pep when he played with the fullbacks, when he did the invert and all that different type of play that he used to do.
Odegaard plays so different to KDB. It's not even funny. But in terms of like...
Pep's had about 4 styles of play since he's been in the Premier League, you know. I'm going to be real. He's had about 4 styles of play.
Because he's done the inverted team.
Arteta's had about 3 styles of play since he's been at Arsenal.
They've changed the
way.
No, but you know what the thing is? But would you say...
No, but I'm talking when we say playing different styles, we're not just talking about one-off occasions, or we talk about consistently playing that style.
Yes, we have. We've definitely changed our style 3 or 4 times since Klopp's been here.
We've changed it twice, and that's been dependent on opposition. No, we used to be more of a counter-attacking team because teams would attack us up until 18-19. From 18-19, teams just went Mane, Salah, and Firmino. Oh hell no, we ain't doing this attack thing against them. We're going to sit back and we're going to soak up pressure and try and attack and counter-attack them. We have played the same virtually since 1920. Literally, bro.
I'll say 1920 a little bit more controlling games, though. I feel like, I don't know, man. You see the control aspect. I know control was one aspect.
3 or 4 different styles. If you look at the way we played when he first got here, before he was able to change it up, to what he then changed into when he started to get his own players, to then what we adapted to after Buvac left and the falling out was over the way he wanted to play, even to now the way we're playing now. Even that's 4 times we've changed under Klopp.
We haven't changed 4 times, bro. We haven't.
So you think from the moment he came in and he was playing with Emre Can and Divock Origi and all those players, we've only changed twice since then, including the style we're playing.
Three at a push. 3 at a push.
Nah, we've changed at least 4 times.
16, 17, 17, 18. We were virtually we could beat teams, but we were a counter-attacking team as well. 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22. It was the 4-3-3. We just keep on knocking the door, crossing. It was only towards the back end of last season where we started employing the inverted system. And I'd arguably say if we had employed that system 3 or 4 games earlier, we'd have probably got top 4. Drifter, I don't think I'm saying anything wild here. So
no, I think we've changed our style 4 times since Klopp got here. So if 3 or 4, which I think is 4. So we've still kind of changed. It's just over a long period of time, but we've still changed our system. It's not like we're still playing the same way we did when we got here.
Do you guys think it's an issue that like, I'll be real, yeah? everyone knows the kryptonite to Liverpool team is literally a low block. It is literally just that. It's something so simple. Do you find it kind of mind-boggling that even to this day, like there's times when we just struggle way too much than we should do, when we kind of know what it is and what we need to do? Because that's one thing I've never really understood. It's like, okay, I get it. Maybe first couple of seasons, like, all right, cool. We're very counter-attacking, like what Cal said. Now, obviously, we're a little bit more possession-based as well. And we've got players that are maybe higher technically as well, or at least able. But don't you guys find that a bit of an issue that the way we break teams down normally is Trent Alexander-Arnold do something nuts, like pause in terms of like some crazy cross or pass or something, or get the ball to Bradley and Robbo and they whip it in. Like, how many times have we sat there and gone, bro, what is this like crossing thing? Like, why can't we break a team down going centrally? Why can't we have runners going ahead of the ball? Remember we used to have this conversation, Drift? Like, I don't know, like, do you think that, like, as I look at it now, I think, oh, bro, if we're playing against a team that has a low block and they do man-to-man marking, we might be in a bit of a pickle here. Like, we shouldn't even be thinking like that because it's so mad, yeah? Teams do it to Man City. Man City, obviously, no one's perfect, but 8 to 9 times out of 10, they find a way. Within us, it's like a 6 or a 5 out of 10, you know, if someone does that to us.
Nah, that's not true, but we wouldn't be in a title race if it was that low, bro.
Bro, can I be honest with you? Not many teams have actually adopted.
Now, just right, Matt. But I think the point where you're not probably getting what Matt's saying is how many times are we breaking those teams down because of tactics, and how many times are we breaking them down because of
we can't break down Ten Hag's Man United. They play the same way, you know, low block, man-to-man marking. Klopp still can't find a way. I'm just saying we shouldn't even leave it.
Yeah, but the low block catches out most teams. Yes, City are a team who do seem to get around it a lot, but if you hear like Arsenal fans, they'll say the same thing. They hate the low block. They like teams to play against in the low block.
A lot of teams are better at breaking it down than we are.
No, but I'm saying like if you go and look at some of Arsenal's poor performances this season, like for example West Ham at home. That's what undone them. West Ham literally defended deep and counter-attacked on them. And the low block won the game. So what I'm saying is loads of teams, no matter how good they are, struggle with the low block. Of course, you would hope that you could figure out. But normally, bro, I'll be honest, it's not even necessarily patterns of play that break down low blocks. It's normally individual brilliance. That's normally what does break down a lot. It'll be somebody doing something beautiful.
It's a bit of both because you can offset. Bro, you can offset a low block. Bro, you can offset. Bro, you can offset a low block quite easily if you got the right caliber player. No, I'm telling you.
One team possibly who are the best team, but generally speaking, the low block offsets most attacks. And look at Tottenham, for example. Tottenham have been good at attacking this season, but we went into a low block when we went down to 9 men, and it took an own goal for them to beat us. And they probably was feeling embarrassed. Wow, we're not even going to beat 9 men because we went into a low block.
This is Andy's first season, Drift. I expect that. This is Klopp's.
No, but what I mean is a 9 men Liverpool, yeah, made it almost impossible to score a goal. And they've got very good patterns of play within their attack and the things that they do. And they couldn't break us down because even Liverpool, who you lot all are kind of agreeing we're not really good defensively, but even we went into a 9 and defended well, because when it needed to be, a low block is a very kind of easy way to defend. For that's why a lot of teams do it who ain't got talented players.
No, I agree, but
Tottenham couldn't break us down with 9 men because it's very difficult.
Okay, some echo in there, going a bit mad. Yeah. What I was gonna say is, obviously low block will stifle any opponent, but what I'm saying is, I do think with the players that we have and the manager that we have, we should be doing better. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be real. Obviously, Palace, we know that was just more missed chances, yeah? But we kind of do know that, let's be real, Liverpool's main thing is if someone puts out a low block, it's almost like we're like, flip, man. This is going to be a long day. Whereas I feel like other teams have a bit more patience. I feel like we rush things too much. That's what I'm trying to say. So even though Klopp's tactics do work, I feel like this is where I think me and Callum maybe are very similar in our thinking when we say the adaptation, though. If Klopp, if you know you're playing a low block here, you've got to make some tweaks. Don't change everything. The idea is still the same, but make some tweaks. That's why I feel like sometimes he can be a bit lackadaisical, and in his mind, he just thinks, we are Liverpool, we are good. We'll just keep knocking on that door and someone will score. That's my whole argument. I just think sometimes you can just do the whole, you know what, we can't rely on that. We got to kind of think about
plan B is do plan A harder.
Yeah, like the crossing ain't working. All right, cool. Now it means then, all right, take off Endo. McAllister, you play the 6. Soberslide Elliot, I want you as roaming 8. I need you to get ahead of the ball. Elliot, you're best at creating space in behind the lines. Sober, maybe you can draw someone out. Do you get what I'm saying? I just feel like we don't do none of that stuff.
Yeah. We changed the personnel, but
Mo
keep the
cuts
tactics
inside. Nunez is offside. Like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I love the team and everything. It's just that I just think, you know, it's like hindsight in it. When there's a certain things you look at and you go, these are definitely things that I hope that the next manager, obviously it won't be Klopp, he will look at and things that we will definitely change. And don't get me wrong, it's amazing what Klopp's been able to do. It's just things that we can improve upon, even these last couple of games.
All right, big up Adrian. He makes a good point here, and I don't want us to take long on this because we have literally spoken about this in about the last 4 post-match reactions, etc. The front line, and honestly, guys, let's not spend long on this because I think this is a members video where we can really get into the nooks and crannies. Plus, at the end of the season, we're going to do the whole who should we sell, who should we keep, who should we loan out, etc. The front 5, boys. How many of the front 5, in your opinion, is good enough to be a Liverpool player that can help us win the Premier League win the Premier League or win the Premier League on a regular basis? Let's just be honest. How many of that front 5 do you think are there? What makes you say that, Drew?
Because I just believe they're in bad form, or they haven't quite found exactly where they fit into the system, which I think a second year could help with. I think individually, in terms of their talent, they're all capable. All 5 of them.
All right, Matt.
Maybe 3 at the moment.
Who are the 3 in your opinion?
Salah, still, even though he's stink at the place. Jota, and I think maybe Diaz.
I'll be real with you guys. Out of the front line, the only one I'd say is in bad form right now is Salah. The others, for me, are showing tendencies that they've always been showing since they've been at Liverpool.
Even Jota.
And I'll be honest with you. Well, Jota's just come back from injury.
Oh, because you said 5. Is that not?
No, but in terms of, so for me, Salah and Jota are the only 2 I'm keeping.
Oh, okay. Fair play.
They're the only 2 I believe, in my heart of hearts, that can lead us to a Premier League and help us to retain or win a Premier League on a regular basis. I don't think they're all in bad form. I think Nunez has been showing tendencies that what he's showing now all season. I think Gakpo's been showing tendencies since he's been at the club. And I think Diaz has been showing tendencies since he's been at the club. Diaz is not and shout out to Matt. Matt was the first to say it. And I remember when he said it, he got absolutely destroyed from the chap for it. And this was back in the season where we actually signed him. Diaz's end product is not consistent enough to bring us a Premier League trophy. Nunez's end product is not consistent enough to bring us the Premier League trophy, and neither is Gakpo's. I think those are the facts.
I think Gakpo.
I don't think it's form. I can't sit here and say it's form with Diaz and Nunez, especially because they have continuously missed chances since they've been at the club. You can't have bad form for 2 years. Those are tendencies, those are traits, those are players who they are.
Yeah.
That's your opinion, brother. It's fine.
The facts kind of back it up as well, though.
None of this is factual. This is all our opinions.
No, the facts show.
Factually, both of them have both got more than 30 goal contributions. People will then tell me about context.
All right, so what about big chances missed then? And the amount of shots that we're taking, which is predominantly coming from the attacking players, and the fact that we've had 100 more shots than Arsenal and City, but we've scored less goals.
And that's what it is. I think logic just clearly states if you have more shots, you'll have more misses.
The more you do it, you have more goals. You should also have more goals.
We're the highest.
We haven't scored more goals than City and Arsenal.
I'm sure somebody was talking in my chat earlier today, and we Liverpool are the highest scorers out of the three
across all competitions.
No, not maybe not in the Prem. We're talking about Prem, or maybe overall. You mean
competitions don't? We were going to win a quad. Would the other competitions have not counted?
All right.
Competitions.
No, but you're not being fair then, Drift, because it's the Champions League and the Europa the same level. Because that's like me comparing a championship striker to a Premier League striker. If a championship striker outscores a Premier League striker, and I turn around and go, well, he's got more goals, so he must be better. You turn around and say, but the Premier League is harder to score in than the Championship.
But we're just talking strictly about facts, and statistically, the fact is, regardless of the context, Liverpool have scored more goals than Arsenal and Man City this season.
In the Premier League, where really in the Premier League where it matters, we've scored 72, Arsenal scored 75, City have scored 76, and we've had 100 more shots than both teams. Over 100. That's not form. That's over the course of. There's no way in the last 5 weeks we've had 100 more shots than those teams. That's been over the course of the season. So statistically, over the course of the season, we haven't been good enough in front of goal over a consistent period. Because again, as I always say, if one person has 10 shots and scores 5 goals, and the other person has 100 shots and scores 5 goals, both of them technically have scored 5 goals, but one's way more clinical than the other.
No, that's true, but that doesn't mean
we are. We're the non-clinical one.
But that doesn't mean that these guys can't be good enough. And to be honest with you, I reckon a lot of those goals
showing it, bro.
A lot of the goals from the other teams are probably coming from midfield as well, because our forwards, apart from Haaland, I'm sure our forwards have got more goals than the other team's forward. No, Saka. I think only Saka and Haaland have more goals than our forwards in the league.
All right.
So a lot of the
Ollie Watkins, Solanke, all these players. What's the excuse for them, bro?
Yeah, but we're talking about the as a whole, our front line as a whole. They've still all got more goals than the majority of Arsenal and City, because that's the barometer. There's no point talking about every team in the league. We're talking about the teams we're trying to be better than to win the league.
All right, Drift. Outside of Salah, Ollie Watkins, Solanke, Isak, Son, Bowen, Saka, Foden, Chris Wood, all ahead of Nunez.
So man, say Chris Wood.
They're the only 3 that play for the opposition that we care about.
No, but that's the point, no, Drift. So when people
crazy.
turn around and say, "Oh, we're not catering to certain player or this and that," but teams like Solanke is outscoring the likes of Diaz, Gakpo,
but
and
he's
Nunez.
the one that Bournemouth relied upon to score.
He's not getting as many chances as them, bro.
He must be. If you individualize the chances of someone like Diaz and Solanke must be getting as many chances as Diaz.
All right, maybe Diaz, not more than Nunez.
But I would say it's more. I hate to say it because Diaz is a winger, so it's wing.
Chris Wood isn't getting as many chances as Diaz.
Chris Wood having more goals than our number 9 is crazy, and I'm pretty sure
Chris Wood having more goals than anyone in our front line.
No, but everybody in our team is playing their role, and Salah is the one you put up against if you want to talk to somebody about who their big hitter is.
Bro, we changed our tactics from a false 9 to a number 9 because the number 9 is supposed to take that burden off Salah, though.
Not necessarily.
But
not necessarily. Whatever your job is.
No, bro. Hear what I'm saying. Listen. I'm gonna let you land. Look.
Isn't just about scoring goals.
We changed. Bro,
so what's Nunez's job?
Can I land this, please? Can I just say
Nunez's job is to be a part of goal creation, period.
no,
Whether
no,
that
no.
be
Listen.
the
Can I say something? I'm gonna rip off the band-aid, please.
scoring, he's just supposed to take part in the goals, period. We don't. Klopp himself said the way my number 9 plays isn't just about goals. It isn't just about goals. He doesn't use the number 9
So
the
if
way
he's
some
thrown, no, but bro, I think what it is like, in my opinion, if you're number 9, yeah, Arsenal happens to be Nunez, yeah, is getting how many chances per game, and he's not converting those chances. We can't still do the whole, but Salah's supposed to be the main guy. If my guy is getting chances upon chances, he's arguably getting the same chances as Salah, right? But Salah's dwarfing him numbers wise. And this is a Salah that we could arguably say hasn't been right since the injury. We could even arguably say Nunez is even tired as well. That is fair to say as well. He might be a bit tired. But some of these have even been in the beginning of the season. And it's like, you know, like after the Newcastle game, even I was with you, but I was like, oh, like, this is him now. Like, now you kind of kick on. But we just have to, I look at it like, I think he's good, bro, but he hasn't kicked on, in my opinion, how he should have. Like,
why are we all of a sudden just become about Nunez? We're talking about the front.
We're
talking about
all of them.
I'm talking about all of them.
The conversation we was having before was we're talking about as a whole, and then Cal said I think is factual what he was saying, and I said the reason I think it's opinion is because if we talk about facts, then we could also say, well, factually, Nunez is the second highest contributor to goals in Liverpool's team, but everybody's annoyed with him, etc., etc. So I'm saying we can't necessarily say the thing about our front players is a fact in one thing, but then when you talk about facts in another way, the stats are good. Statistically, which is a fact, right? A stat is a fact. Statistically, Nunez has got 32 goal contributions this season. Who's got more goal contributions in the league? Maybe about 4 or 5 people.
But who's had the most chances? Who's had the most chances?
What happens when it matters most?
That, Cal, we're just talking about statistical facts that are just going to be in the book at the end of the season. Who got more goal contributions than Nunez? Regardless of whatever the situation is.
For the statistical fact as well, bruv. Who gets the most chances?
Yes, but I'm not saying Nunez shouldn't do better. So that part, I get what you're saying. But to have that many goal contributions throughout a season, you still did your job. You could have done it better, but you still did your job.
As Liverpool striker, you think he's done his job? In your
32 goal contributions in the season for me is good. Yes,
all right. What about in the league, in the Premier League? We're trying to go for in the. No, but that's what I'm asking you. Do you think you could have done better in the Premier? But that's what I'm trying to say. But my argument is, I'm not even. Here's the thing. I think Nunez, like I said, like overall, he's been around. You also got to look at it in crunch time. Has he done enough, bro? That's how I'm looking at it. Like, has he done enough? I look at the chances that he gets.
Yes, he has.
He doesn't score enough, bro.
He could have done better, but somebody sent me a stat.
Too many, bro.
Somebody sent me a stat this morning that said that in the Premier League, 6 of Nunez goals have been match winners. Yeah, I don't know if that's a fact, but somebody sent me and said, "Jiff, here's something for you based on Nunez on the conversation I was having the other day." Because I think we was having a conversation and I asked. One of you asked me how many goals he's got that are winners, and I could only recall 3 times. And I was like, I don't know if there's any more. So I think that's the reason why he sent me that. Yeah. If he scored 6 if 6 of his goals have been winning goals, yeah, then in my opinion, 6 game-winning goals, we equate that to the points gained. So that means that Nunez, within his game-winning goals, has gained Liverpool 10 points this season.
Is that just in the Prem? Is that in the Prem or all competitions?
Yeah, it said Prem. It says 6 of his goals in the Prem have been the winning goal. That's what the stats said.
Can I just say something?
I actually don't think that's a fact,
guys. Just quickly, because I've got some facts. I've actually got facts for all the strikers. Yeah, this is what I wanted to bring up. And this isn't attacking. This is everybody in the squad.
Yeah.
Mo, 15 being chances scored. 15 missed. Gakpo, big chances scored 4, 9 missed. Jota scored 7, missed 7. Diaz scored 6, could say missed 10. Darwin scored 7, missed 32, bro. Remember, these are not just chances, these are big chances. So big chances that we create for him, that's the amount that he's missed compared to his scored. Now, he's never probably even going to get half because that's still quite, but you'd expect maybe if it's like 14, 15. That's why I feel like he's letting us down, bro. But you could also say the same thing about Mo. But Mo, like we've been saying, Mo obviously just come up from an injury, but maybe Mo is in a little bit of a decline as well. We've got to respect that. So Mo maybe not the same.
Is actually 40 to 50% is actually the kind of average, or kind of on the better side of the average. People like Isak and Son and Jota, they're actually outperforming what they do. Mo's actually Mo's kind of where he should be.
Because I look at that and think, bro, if you're getting 14, 15, in fact, not even if it was like 11, 12, it wouldn't be maybe as bad. Yeah, because like I said, to get half of that would be 16. And I don't know whether he's even that guy to get 16, unfortunately, at this stage right now. But you have to look at that and go, the ratio, bro, is high for any Liverpool striker. Even if that was Salah, if I stopped the name, if I could have played a trick here and edited and made that Salah. And I wish I did that to make people understand that no matter who the player is, I almost wish I never put the name there. I kind of just wanted to show like, bro, this is a lot like for any Liverpool player to miss, like anybody. And if that was Salah, I would still be like, nah, bro, that's not good enough. And I kind of wish I blurred out the names, but bro, be honest, that is mad, isn't it? In your opinion, like you must think to yourself, do you know what? Yeah, you believe in him, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ask the question again.
It's the reason why I can't find a certain comment because the dickhead just got blocked.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he got blocked. He got blocked.
So here's the thing.
Of course, that's terrible. I said he's got to do better.
No, but this is what I'm saying, Drift, where I'm saying it's not just form. Because if this has lasted one season and he did the same virtually last season, it can't be form. It can't be.
No, I said why he's playing badly at the moment is form. I never said that missing chances is form. It's part of his DNA. It's true. He takes the harder chances and he doesn't score the easy ones. Like, it is frustrating. But you know what? Them kind of things can be easily fixed.
But they can't be. They can't be, or else it would have been fixed by now.
In my opinion, he has the ability for those things to be turned around.
Based on what evidence, though?
Based on the fact that all he has to do is just start to learn to compose himself a bit. I genuinely think that's
wait there. That's the one thing I was going to say. And I'm not too sure whether he can learn that. Sounds crazy. Do you know what he lacks? This is one key thing that he lacks. And Drifter said it. And it's composure. And what I'm worried about is he's not 17, he's 24. At that age, you should have some type of composure in front of goal. And that's my worry. You know what you're saying? No, but Jeff, you know you're saying like how he takes all the hard chances. Like I almost feel like when Nunez is in front of goal, he just thinks, I'm just gonna lash it. I'm gonna lash this in one of these corners. But sometimes you need to slow the game down and compose yourself. And it sounds so crazy. If he has composure, that number goes up dramatically. But he doesn't have it. And I don't know how much longer we can wait for him to develop that. Because what's so crazy, you see the finishes against Newcastle, that was composure. But I don't know whether that composure is consistent. But what he's shown me is that he doesn't have consistent composure. And no matter who the Liverpool player is, I've got to look at that and go, even if Salah, bro, because I'll be real, let's say Salah had the same season or Salah continues this on into next season. Let's say Salah stays, right? But Salah's doing the same thing that he's doing right now. We have to have a conversation about Salah. We have to have a conversation right now, if we're being honest. It's mad, but these are I don't know, man. It's
Look, like I said,
conversations to have, but yeah, man.
He has to do better, 100%, and I've never ever shied away from that. That's all facts. He has to do better. This conversation here is more about whether we believe he's good enough to be the main striker for Liverpool.
Not just him, by the way. I want to make that clear. It's not just him.
Even Gakpo as well. Though. Gakpo maybe get the minutes, but
I said,
But we know, regardless, the fan base, it always ends up back at Nunez when we talk about the attack for
stuff. Again, that's a false narrative, bro. It doesn't.
And for the most part, it does. But anyway,
you missed a chance yesterday, and I'm sure the fans were chanting Nunez.
No,
like,
Salah's been getting a lot of heat as well, you know.
Salah's been getting way more heat than him.
People even bring up his contract. It's like, raw, man's been injured. They talk about his contract.
Just to finish up on Nunez, because again, there's no point in keep on going on about it. If it's true that he has scored 6 winning goals from the goals that he scored, all of the other stuff that you lot are showing me, whatever, is factual, that's annoying. But at the same time, then you also have to have that respect of, well, you can't really say that somebody isn't good enough to win a league with if they have 6 winning goals in a season, because that's a pretty big deal. That means you've kind of contributed to 12 points, one off of what you've done. So
Johnny,
I'm just saying, you have to have a balance in the analysis. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I'll
of
be
course,
very
of course.
surprised if anybody thinks 6 winning goals isn't good in a
Johnny,
season.
we always want to protect our players, and rightly so, because they play for Liverpool. Like anyone that wears that the shirt, we're gonna support them no matter what they go through, and that's what we should be doing. But what it is like, even I'm starting to realize it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, like you lot tried to say it to me before. Like, I'll give an example with Navigator, right? Navigator, for all of his talent, I thought he was talented. But I said to Cal a year before, I said it online, he's got to go. And Cal was like, what? And I was like, he's got to go, you know. I said, the injuries, we just can't rely on him. And that's a different conversation, but I just couldn't, like, I had the realization was there, yeah. I'm not saying you have to have that Nunez. Obviously, that's your own thoughts. What I'm saying is, though, for Liverpool to have a number 9 that wastes chances like that, I don't know whether that can continue, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. Because if I sat and said to you right now, Drift, be real with me, yeah? If I said to you, would you take Isak right now over Darwin Nunez, you would say yes, because you know deep down, Isak, better footballer, and probably more clinical.
No.
I know you might say about the injury, pick up a couple of injuries, but you wouldn't take Isak over.
Maybe with a different manager, possibly. But let's just go with the premises Klopp, because he's the manager.
Well, the new manager's coming in now, isn't he? The new manager. So do you want to be under Klopp? Will it? Yeah.
Right now, I think Isak, his injury record and his overall like pressing and whatever, I don't know if he would do well playing for Klopp.
With the amount of chances we create.
I'm going to say this. His pressing won't be as good.
It's because he does get a lot of niggles and a lot of injuries. So I don't necessarily know. I don't know if he would work for.
All right.
He's played 24 games this season
and scored 17. I'm about to tell you that stat, you know.
Nunez has played 6 more games than him. Nunez has played 6 more games.
They're not all starts though, Cal, are they?
There's a lot. I don't think all of Nunez's haven't been starts either. But either way, he's played 24 games. Nunez has played 30. He's got 17 goals in those 24 games, playing for Newcastle, a crap Newcastle team this season. In a top team with all the creative players around him, with less of the burden, he would do a madness in this team.
Okay.
And I think for me, what the killer is as well is Nunez, not Nunez, Isak will not get the same chance creation. Obviously, like Liverpool, we create way more chances than Newcastle, like way more. And even though his availability might not be as good as Nunez is, I look at that and go, it's not like he only plays half a Premier League season. He just might play 3/4. I'm just giving you an example. I don't know. This isn't the throw Nunez out. It's more highlighting issues or areas that we can improve upon, in my opinion, going forward. Because as much as we are good at creating chances, if we don't have the forwards, like you said, Drift, including Salah, to put them away, we are in trouble. Because it seems like Salah and Nunez get the bulk of our chances, in my opinion. They get the bulk of the chances.
Also, with the 6 game winning goals stat, all right. So I'm gonna guess that the stat is actually games where he's actually scored the winning goal, scored the goal to put us in the lead. It can't just be winning goals, because if it's winning goals, he hasn't scored 6 winning goals. Because if off the top of my head, it's only the Newcastle game where he won us the game. Other games he's scored in, other players have scored in those games as well. So it must be either the first goal scored.
The premise behind what it was.
It must be the first goal scored, the winning goal, or the goal to put us back in the lead. It can't be winning goals. If it's that metric, then yes, 6 times. Sorry, two times. Forest as well. Sorry, apologies, guys. Big up to Alexander. 2 games then. So it's 2 games. But does that balance out?
Someone said it's goals to put us in the lead.
It must be goals to put us in the lead, first goals and winning goals. It can't just be winning goals. It's impossible.
Oh yeah, like I said, metrics of what they said. So if it's that, it's that. I didn't look at it for too long. I just said, oh yeah, thanks, bro, for sending it. Whoever it was, big up for sending it to me, because they were just saying about the conversation we're having about the importance of Nunez's goals. I think it was a couple of shows ago was talking about it. So yeah, look, I'm happy with him, but I'm disappointed with his performances recently. If other people don't think he's good, then that's fine. Remember, this is all just about opinion. I think he's good enough, and he'll eventually show it. I think he's shown it already, but obviously just not consistently.
How much time would you give him, Drift?
Nunez has got 3 or 4 years in terms of the squad, and he's got 1 more year to be the starter.
How many years in the squad?
In the squad, he's got another 3 or 4 years. As a starter, he's got 1 more year to prove himself as the main number 9.
Would you give him that amount of time, Matt?
I wouldn't give him 3-4 years in the squad. No, I give him next year.
So you don't even think he's good enough to be a squad player for that.
What it is that I look at that and go, at his age, he's gonna want to like start first team football. I don't think he's gonna want to sit on a Liverpool bench at 25, 26, 27. You said 3-4 years. He's like 24. That'll take him up to 27. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. It's about mentality. I don't think he's gonna want to sit, because he was brought in for 85 mil, and then to be told he's going to be sitting on the bench for 3 years. I don't see it. I'll be real. New manager comes in, he assesses him, see if he's good enough, and I think maybe Nunez would have to prove himself, whoever the new manager is, maybe after one. I think he gets maybe 1 or 2 years. That's squad and first team. So we could say squad 2 years. 2 years. I wouldn't give him 4. I'd give him 2. I'd give him half of that. I'll be honest, because I think he's got to develop certain things in his game, and I don't know whether he can do that coming off the bench. I think he would always be a good impact player. But when he has to start, let's say we have an injury to our main person, the same issue wouldn't have gone away yet. And that's how you develop players. They have to play week in, week out. And if you want to see the best of Darwin Nunez, he has to play. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
I hate these supers.
What about you, Carl? Before you didn't say no.
But yeah, with all due respect, I'm selling Darwin, Diaz, and Gakpo if it's up to me.
What, next season?
No, this summer.
Oh, this summer. Okay.
Yeah. If it was up to me, I would. I think 2 years is enough to determine whether a striker is going to be a striker. And I think 2 years is enough to determine whether Diaz is going to give you enough output throughout the season. I think 2 years is enough to suggest whether Cody's going to be able to deal with the rigors of the Premier League on a consistent basis, personally.
Can I just ask?
Cody's the only one I'd give more leeway to because he hasn't been here as long.
I was going to say.
Obviously, the supers might be about something else, so I don't want to keep going backwards and forwards. So just quickly, 2 things. Jota went a whole year, if I'm not mistaken, without scoring a goal. So sometimes things can just happen. I know there was injuries involved in
there was a lot of injuries. That's the worst stat. There was also a break in between.
He still played a lot during that time though, because I think he said something like 2,000 minutes or something like he hadn't scored for like 2,000 minutes or something like that.
Can't play when there's no football on. Like the calendar year thing is the worst statistic used.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Apparently, it was something like 2,000 minutes as well. If you added up the time on the pitch, like it wasn't just like a thing of like he was injured for 8 months.
Jota's got previous though. We know what he's about.
No.
What you mean.
I'm saying what I'm saying to say.
He hasn't got that catalogue to give him that blight.
And he still went that long. But anyway, the main point that I want to make is: does anybody believe? Forget about the finishing for a second. Does anybody believe Liverpool are a better team overall attacking without Nunez?
At the moment, no.
He makes it okay. He make.
And does yes or no? Does Nunez not contribute massively to the success of the attack?
I wouldn't say massively, but I do think I think he improved for me. And again, I would start Nunez from now until the end of the season, but then in the summer, I'm selling him and I'm buying someone else.
The way how we play, yeah. No, the way how we play under Jurgen Klopp, yes, he does.
Cool.
But
that's why I'm selling him in the summer, Drift, because
still not good enough, though.
The way he's playing isn't sustainable for him or Liverpool. Ty says it's going to happen, but do you guys think it's time for a change? There are a lot of issues that Klopp never fixes, e.g. fitness and stamina issues. I personally do think it's time for a change. Love the guy, but I think it's time.
There's a change happening anyway. So
Yeah.
It's not time for
Donovan
a change.
say again.
It's not time for a change for me, but I don't have a choice in the matter.
Donovan says pressing from the front with the likes of Mane and Firmino is something we defo missed with this new crop of forwards. Agree with Drift there. Same.
I agree. That's why I said change it if they can't do the same thing what the others used to do.
Musa says Pep Linders has major influence on this team. I think people oversee his impact, and he has heavy influence on Klopp. Don't know if good or bad. Yeah, he does.
He does, yeah. He does.
Herbman says I agree somewhat about the tactics argument, but when are we going to look at the form or form? Name one player that we can truly say is on form. No, I agree.
That's going to when I was saying I do think it's a team thing, not an individual thing.
Dean says, question for you lads. Tactically, what exactly are we trying to do? What is the plan? Like plan A, plan B, plan C besides pressing and running? Don't know.
Kind of how I was explaining earlier. It is a bit long to go over it again.
Donovan says 11 goals in 30 Premier League games for Nunez is not good enough. Ty says those strikers named did nothing until this season. Drogba was awful until his third season. Most of Nunez's misses were inches. He's shown plenty of signs. Drogba wasn't awful. He wasn't awful. He wasn't great. It wasn't awful. Doc G plus another thing. Chelsea didn't create as many chances as Liverpool create. So that's another thing. Doc G, Nunez needs another chance under the new manager. Fair point. Dean says D9 versus Origi. Origi didn't score too many, didn't take too many shots. He scored when it matters. That laugh when our players be missing chances bores me.
They're just doing it out of nervousness. They don't think it's funny.
Jay says, why was Nunez good versus us in the Champions League, but not now? Because we played a high line against him and it fed into his game. Teams don't play high line against us.
Agreed.
Zoeb says, can Nunez be sold for more than 80 mil, 85 mil now? No, don't think so.
No.
H says, to be honest, Diaz, Cody, and Darwin are good enough individually to be part of a title-winning squad. The issue is we cannot afford all of them together, plus injury-prone Jota. Agreed. Ty says, can't say 2 seasons not enough, then name Ollie and Dom. Vagabond says there is no plan to sell Nunez this summer. I actually, be honest, I don't even know if anyone's safe around Edwards. I'm going to be honest. Maybe Trent and Allison are the only two. I think everyone else, Edwards don't really play about. If an offer comes in, he might actually consider it for anyone else.
You have to talk to the manager, though. It can't just be an Edwards decision.
Agreed. BC says, could see Nunez in a Heskey-like role. What do you think? I don't
What you mean, being a facilitator kind of thing?
I don't think he's good enough on the ball to do the Heskey role.
It depends in what way, like getting the flick-ons and holding up the ball and stuff like that. Yeah, it depends which way you look.
I think with Nunez as well, with Nunez as well, it's more you can only really play with one way. And I think Salah even summed it up when he said the guy likes, the ball likes to be played into space for him to run onto. He doesn't like the ball into feet. And for me, if your number 9 doesn't even want the ball into feet at times, it's like everything has to be into space. It kind of tells you a lot about his style of play. So
What that does, though, is when he's making runs, it's meant to open up for Szoboszlai, Salah, Diaz, other players where maybe a defender will follow him and it might leave a space somewhere else and you're supposed to exploit. That's part of the plan of how you play the way you do. Like,
No,
don't
I
get me
know,
wrong, I totally understand
but on the
people's
ball, though, bro.
trepidation about the missed chances. I do, because it is bad. It's really bad. He shouldn't have that many big chances missed. But he does do something for the team that's not just about putting the ball in the back of the net. That I think because he's got a number 9 on his shirt, people ignore or they don't want to care about, or they'll say, oh, forget about all that. The number 9 is just supposed to do this. Yes, I hear that generally speaking. But I've even heard Klopp himself say it. My number 9 isn't just about goals. If Nunez wasn't doing what I wanted, he wouldn't be playing. Trust me. So there's a lot more to what Nunez does than just the scoring the goals based on Klopp's own words on the way he plays. So the big chances missed are bad. Again, never ever going to shy away from that or act like it's not. It is really bad. But he does a role and a job in the team that isn't just about the goals, and it helps the team to be good, whether you like it or not.
No, of course. No.
Better.
Could that not just be Klopp protecting him rather than throwing him under the bus?
He's a key
No,
cog.
I think you see, a lot of people have said, "Raw, without Nunez, we really don't look dangerous."
Yeah,
at all.
because he stretches the game, and rightly so. That's one good thing that he does, because he can stretch the game with his pace. Yeah, if you can stretch the game with your pace, yeah, and we're able to create chances for you, I understand all your other work that you do, but you're primarily
Watkins does
if you're
that, he
doing the
scores.
job of stretching the game, so allow it to give yourself space and give us space, and then we give you the ball. Just finish your chances, bro. You think I got a problem with his assists? No, that's amazing from a striker. But what I'm saying is, the times when you need your striker most and you can't assist to nobody, and I need to rely on you, I need you to score. I can't think about your assist where you assist to Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, because you can't rely on the others. Now it's you, and that's my argument. So as great as it is assisting, obviously if someone's not there to give the assist to, like if Salah's not there, he can't just be thinking, well, Salah's not there, like what am I gonna do? Like he has to, Darwin has to be more mentally focused in his finishing. That's all it is for me. Like, bro, just bury the ball in the back of the net. You get so many chances. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Dara says, have to be realistic. Neville says we're above par now compared to expectations at the start of the season. Huge progress. Add another centre midfielder, centre back and forward next season. We are in comparison to where we started the season. Completely agree with you, Dara, but expectations change. And again, it's the same thing that we said about Arsenal. Say again?
I think that's the thing people forget. Expectations can change, but the ability doesn't. So the quality of the squad based on ability, which is why nobody thought we could win, isn't going to change within that short space of time. So technically, you can just even out and be what you thought you were going to be, even if at one point you were overachieving.
And why didn't we lay off Arsenal last season when as quote, they
bottled the league? The fans were doing too much, so we just wanted to rub it in.
No, we still did it.
We just wanted to rub it in their face because they were doing too much, bro.
Arsenal were meant to be in a title race last season. They were in a title race, and we got at them when they fell off. They weren't meant to be there, and we still got at them.
No, it's true. And I think things are still different. They had a hell of an advantage. Whether we like it or not, they had at this time last season, or just before this time last season, they had a hell of an advantage.
Still bottled it.
At one point, they were 11 points clear.
We should have had a hell of an advantage. If our forwards finished their dinner, we would have had a hell of an advantage.
And if we'd have had that advantage, we would have won. We wouldn't have bottled it. Even if you add 4 or 5 points to the season that we should have had, I think we probably would win it. Like we were 3 or 4 points ahead of City now, based on points we should have had. I think we would win the league with a 4-point lead with 6 games to go. I'd be like, do you know what? I think we will win the league.
Zoe, goals from midfield and defense has made us look good regarding the front threes. That's a point. This is the most goals from our midfielders ever contributed, if I'm not mistaken, since Klopp's been here as well. So
it must
have gone under the radar. Dean says, Cal, if we were to give them another chance under a new manager with a different approach and tactics, don't you reckon they might redeem themselves, might work? the tactics aren't the reason why Diaz and Nunez aren't scoring goals and missing big chances. Like, that's not tactics. That's individual deficiencies in games. That I'm the first one here to criticize tactics, but when you're missing chances like the Luton one or Diaz against Man City, I can't turn to Klopp and go, fix that. I can't turn to any manager in the world and say, fix that. That's on the player. So no, I'm not. Again, I'm this time next year, I might be sitting there and you guys might be bantering me saying, oh, I remember Cal would have sold Nunez and he could be sitting on 30 Premier League goals. He could be. But as of right now, based on the evidence I've seen, of him, Diaz, no. I don't get why as a club we have to keep on waiting and then they get to the last year of their contract and then we sell them for peanuts or we let them leave on a free. Nah, man. Go and sell now while their value is as high as it could potentially be and go and get other players in. Just do it. Ruthless. I don't know, like, you think Pep's sitting there waiting 2 years for a striker to start scoring goals when they're missing big chances? No. I don't think Arteta would. Arteta's had Gabriel Jesus. This is his second season. What do you think Arteta wants in the summer? A new striker. But we're the only club that just holds on and waits and hopes. Sometimes the proof's just there. It's not meant to be. I genuinely believe if Darwin went to Spain and Gakpo went to Spain and Diaz went to Spain, I think they'd cook up the league. This is a different kettle of fish in the Prem. As we've seen, we're up against two teams that you can't have continuously bad misses. Can't continuously miss big chances throughout the season. Cannot have 100 more shots than another team and score 2 and 3 less than them. It can't run in this league. Any other league, you could probably do it and get away with it. It can't run in this league. It just is where it is.
And this is why earlier comment where someone was talking about, I said, I think it was Drift, and I was trying to remember what I was saying, but I think Drift was talking about Virgil's captaincy on the line and rate of 10. I was like, that is true. But I think Virgil's also used to a certain standard, and that standard ain't the same. And since Mane and Firmino have left, we understand that the players that we have brought in are just not of that same ilk. They are not match winners. They are not big game players as such like the other two. Because what's so crazy is that Firmino was a false 9, but he's a better finisher than Darwin Nunez. He's got more composure in front of goal. Darwin Nunez could never score that goal that Firmino scored against Arsenal, so to speak, when he dropped the 2 defenders. Like, I just don't even see that even happening. And then you got obviously Mane, who was absolutely just a madman. And don't get me wrong, Mane missed chances, but Mane for me turned up though in big games, and that's something that I feel like we have really missed under the new sort of attacking players that we brought in. We just don't have the killers anymore. That's just me keeping it a buck. They might turn to be maybe next year potentially under new manager, or like Cal said, maybe abroad. But I don't know how much longer we can wait, because we don't want to sit here next season going, we're doing so well, but we just can't finish our chances again. And we knew all along what the issue is, but the new manager didn't maybe make that change. So it is techie, I can't lie to you. Because when you go from Mane and Firmino, who are legends, yeah, to the players that we brought in now, it's like, because I'll be real, we can say time, but Drift, you was the first person to speak about it. When we signed Mane, you were like, this guy's going to do bits. Mane actually changed the way how we played, bro. He actually changed the way we played, because all we had was Coutinho, Lallana, and Firmino. There was no pace. Mane actually changed the way we played. Then Firmino just brought everything with him, bro. And the rest is history.
Yeah, we're talking about the difference between good players and arguably generational
players. Elite players. You can say elite players. They're elite players, isn't it? They're elite.
It is a difference.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's a hard thing to do, but because we're Liverpool, it's like, bro, we gotta try, bro. And what it is, yeah, what it is. This is the genuine question to you both. Do you stick with what you have, or do you take a risk and try to go for something better? That's what it comes down to, in my opinion.
There's not much better, because the levels and the standards. I know you lot have said Isak, and obviously some people said Tony, and then outside of them two, I'm thinking, what top strikers have proved themselves in the Premier League? Like, Like, not really, right? I mean, everyone's talking about Ollie Watkins, but I know no one would take Watkins at Liverpool and be all right with that. Nobody here would be all right with Watkins being Liverpool's leading number 9. So you're just gaslighting me when you say Ollie Watkins. Like, you wouldn't want him as a number 9. I believe people would take Isak and Tony. Nobody would take Ollie Watkins.
Some
If
people would.
The choice was between Nunez and Watkins. I'm taking Watkins.
Oh,
I don't. And if you take Nunez out of the equation and just say, is Ollie Watkins good enough to be Liverpool's leading number 9? I don't think anybody says yes.
No, I agree
don't.
with that. I don't think he is, but I think he's better. I think he's a better striker than Darwin Nunez.
And the mad thing is, I'll be honest with you, Cal, this season might make it look like that. Ollie Watkins has had all his other seasons in the Premier League have been worse than Nunez is. In my opinion, this is the only season that Watkins has proved himself to be that guy. I don't think his previous 2 seasons in the Premier League were good.
No, I agree with that. But what I don't understand is his season is so mad. Like, I would think to myself, again, like, if this is Nunez's first season, I hear it. It's his second season. He's had time, to adapt to the tactics. But I don't think it's even. I'm just strictly talking about in front of goal. I don't think that's something that's like.
But Ollie Watkins looked worse than this version.
No, that's true. But what I'm saying, I don't think that's something wrong with our tactics.
Last season, Watkins and Nunez both had 20 big chances they missed. This season, Nunez has missed 25 big chances in the Prem. Ollie Watkins has missed 19. This season, Ollie Watkins scored 19 in the Prem. Nunez scored 11. Last season, Ollie Watkins.
But the eye test, when you watch them, that Ollie Watkins last season wasn't even close to being as good as he is this season with his clinicalness, with his composure. He's obviously growing season on season. Last season's Ollie Watkins was not this composed, didn't look this good.
He got 15 Premier League goals last season.
But
he wasn't composed and he didn't look this good.
I'm not saying he was.
But he's improved though. You know, you can sit there and say, Ollie, like you're saying, just though, you're saying what you're saying is facts though. He has been. I've never really rated him, but I can sit here and say, even if it's just a one-off, he's definitely improved. I mean, I've got to see what he does next season, but
he is improved. Nobody can tell me that last season they thought Ollie Watkins was a good striker.
Do you know he improved dramatically?
Most people, and this year is a one-off year unless he proves it. Unless Ollie Watkins does this again, until then, I will put this down to it could be a one-off because
we've seen it before.
And I have seen him doing this.
But last season, he scored 15 goals last season, missed the same amount of big chances as Nunez. This season, he's missed less big chances than Nunez and scored way more goals. And he's playing in a team that doesn't create as many chances. So again,
yes, but the eye test
he plays. But what I mean, eye test on the ball, he's better than Nunez on the ball.
And when I watched Ollie Watkins, he didn't have composure. He wasn't a player that you was like, if he's through on goal,
neither did Nunez.
No, what I'm saying is, but everybody's using Watkins as an example based off of the good form he's got this season to say that they think that Watkins is like composed and he's clinical and all that kind of stuff. And I'm saying, but he wasn't like that before.
Are we talking about Ollie Watkins to be Liverpool's number 9, or are we comparing him to Darwin?
We're doing both because we're basically people both, so we're doing both. So it's like, if you didn't think that Ollie Watkins was that guy last year, then there's the proof that a player can improve dramatically, because I think that Ollie Watkins has improved dramatically, and I don't think it was an improvement that was visibly obvious to anybody. You would look at him and say he's always just going to be a basic Premier League striker, and all of a sudden now he's looking like he's a real killer and a top level Premier League striker. That's a dramatic change around in about 12 to 18 months. So if somebody can do that like that, then I'm saying so can Nunez. Because again, like El Hero's saying, when you look at the age, you look at the similarities and you think, yeah, look, there's the maturity that can happen.
Watkins, though. I said Isak though.
No, but I'm just giving Watkins as a good example because Watkins is getting better and maturing every year. And 2 years ago, he was a forward. Even a year ago, he was a forward that nobody would have dreamed could have been as good as he is at the moment. So that's what I'm saying. So when people say Nunez can't be that guy, I'm just using Watkins as an example that he can, because we've seen it happen to other players where they don't look like they're good enough, but maturity and continued coaching, they end up being good enough.
In the last 2 years, has Nunez improved in front of goal?
In front, yeah, I think this season he's been better than last season. I don't think it's dramatic, but I do think he's been better this season than last season.
That's why I disagree, Drew. I don't think he has been better.
I don't think he had those moments.
I think his overall game has improved since he's been at Liverpool, but in front of goal, I don't think he's improved.
And again, like I said,
I actually think he's regressed.
With a few more years, it might. That's all I'm saying. I know the age thing, people always say you can't use it as excuses, but I still say with Ollie Watkins, with Ivan Toney, with a lot of these guys who I rate highly, by the way. Tony's an absolute baller. I really rate these guys. But I look at them when they were 22, 23, 24, 25, and they weren't polished like they are now at 28, 29. So I'm just saying, making those comparisons is easy when you're looking at it for what it is. I get it. On the face value, right now, Tony, way better finisher than Nunez. It's not even a conversation. Boom, I totally agree. But 24, 25-year-old Ivan Toney wasn't this player he is now, and is way better.
What about Solanke? Because even
I think Dominic Solanke is good in front of goal, but I don't think Dominic Solanke is a top-level prolific Premier League goal scorer. I think he'll have up and downs throughout his career.
But it's not about whether he's like elite or something. It's more about, do you think he could do more damage at Liverpool than what Nunez is doing?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Isak?
I think Isak's finishing would be way better. I question whether he could do the pressing and the running and have his fitness the way Nunez does. So that one would be...
Yeah. Because I think because they're different style of plays. You know what it is, yeah? This isn't me having a go at Nunez. I just think Isak's football IQ is higher than Nunez's. The way how he plays is very different. But again, you can say that's the style of play, though, isn't it? But Nunez plays one way. Like, you see when the ball's at Nunez's feet, yeah, compared to when the ball's at Isak's feet. I feel like Isak knows what he's doing. But Nunez is not that he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's better. Like when Salah said, like, play the ball into space, that is his bread and butter. I like that's his thing, kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, so I said Nunez, Isak, Solanke, Watkins probably have a better season. I think the argument is not about whether these players are elite, it's whether could these players do more damage in a Liverpool shirt than what Nunez is doing? And now are they better, maybe natural finishers because of the amount of chances that we create? I think it's maybe more so that.
Ivan Toney, that first
even Toney as well.
The Toney that arrived in the Premier League naturally and obviously has grown so much and become so much of a better player in the last few years. Nobody could tell me that first version of Toney was better than this version of Nunez, because he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Hold on, what? Say that again, Sergio? Say that again? The what? I didn't hear you.
That first Premier League year version of Toney 4 years ago when Brentford first come into the league was not a better player than Nunez is now. Toney's become that player in this time he's been in the Premier League, and as he's got older. That younger version of Toney was not better than this version of Nunez. And nobody could tell me that he would have come.
Yeah, but Toney could have time at Brentford. Are you going to allow the same time at Liverpool? There's a difference, though. I think that's what it is as well.
He was better, though. He had better first touch. He had better link-up play. He had better IQ. Possibly better finishing.
Look, first version, I disagree. I think that was when he started to play.
You saw when he first came into the league, Toney, like Brentford first season.
Yeah, when he was 24, 25, the same age as Nunez now. I don't think he was
3 years ago. Am I going mad?
Brentford have been in the Premier League for 4 years now. Isn't this their fourth season?
I know it's only 3, isn't it?
I think it's 3.
And it's only their third year. Because Toney his first year, last year was his madman year. And then, am I going mad? Maybe I'm going mad. I'm not sure, actually.
He wasn't better than this version of Nunez.
I thought it's 3 years they've only been.
Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney in their first year in the Premier League wasn't better than
I hear you on Watkins, because Watkins could literally be like that one season. But do you know who I can't say? I think Isak is certified. Like, let's say Isak doesn't even score the same amount of goals next season as he did this season. I would look at it. I bet that probably have something to do with Newcastle playing badly, but not actually him. I think Isak is that type of player where you can just see it. There's certain players you can see it. Like, don't get me wrong. there's players that like I think we've fallen in love with how Klopp plays and with the pressing thing. Don't get me wrong, pressing is important in any team. But if you're doing other things that maybe are a bit better than your pressing, like scoring goals, first touch, chance creation, all that stuff, we can at least allow you with if you're not the greatest oppressor. I mean, look at freaking Daniel Sturridge, bro. I love Daniel Sturridge. That is my guy. But I could probably laugh and joke with Daniel Sturridge and be like, no, but really, how much really did you enjoy the pressing thing? And he'll probably laugh. But we allowed him because he was so amazing at everything else. And that's what I'm saying. So pressing is important, but you know what I'm saying? When you got you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Streets Approved 10 says we completely wasted the prime of our players. Not completely. They did still win everything, but they could have won more in their prime. Dara says, Drift, would you swap Darwin for Tony or Isak right now?
As a player, I think they're both better than him. Tony's maybe the only one I would swap him for. I don't know about Isak with the injury level. Like, I don't know. Watching him at Newcastle, I think his fitness would be a bit like Jota's, where it'd be frustrating and he'd miss a lot of football.
Ty says Drogba 05, 04, 05, 10 goals, 5, 6, 12, 7, 8, 8, 08, 09, 5, 10, 11, 11, 11, 12, 5, 14, 15, 4 goals. 2 years isn't enough. Solanke and Watkins. I don't think those stats are facts.
They look a bit off.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but they look a bit off.
I don't think those are factual.
I'm not sure about them ones. But...
Kate says Farteta been benching Sambazet for Moist Havertz. He has been. Navir says has the Klopp rebuild failed? Thank you guys. We'll only know in about a year or two, to be honest.
Yeah. This season's too short of a thing to know.
Pete says I want a striker. I'm surprised when he does bad, not surprised when he does good. We can get Tony for cheap and he wants to join. Dean says agree, Cal, no favoritism. Do you think Virgil is a good leader? I think we need a captain up front like Jones, Sabos, Salah, such as Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno, Odegaard. I'm good with Virgil as captain, but he does have to step things up.
I disagree. You can't blame me. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I won't
Do
get
you know where I slightly understand where Dean's coming from?
Look at the finishing, bro.
When you look at the captain in terms of his influence on the team, I think it's quite difficult for you to only be influential by your talking. So I think what Dean means is it's very hard for there to be any stamp on the game from Virgil, because from a defensive point of view, you can't do that, especially if you're doing well when you're winning a game or you've got the ball, because obviously you're not defending if you've got the ball. So I think what he means is when you look at players like those, they can take the game by the scruff of the neck and actually influence it, not just verbally, but also physically. And he prefers that. I think that's what he's getting at. Like, Virgil can't just like get the ball and go, fuck this, I'm just going to do this myself if no one else is going to do it, because he's a defender. So that could never be the case. He can score winning goals from a corner and stuff, but
he can still set the example as
I was going to say,
but it's way harder.
Henderson was a phenomenal captain, and Henderson wasn't that type of captain, bro.
No, but Henderson could still get involved by like just crunching into tackles in midfield, winning the ball back and being influential up the thing. We're like, guys, and take the game by the scruff of the neck because he's involved in the game more as a midfielder. I think what he's trying to say is defenders don't get involved in the game as much, so he thinks it's harder to be an influential captain. I kind of agree with him to an extent. I think midfielders and attackers do have an easier chance of being influential over the game.
That's the reason why we even got a trophy this season. I kind of gotta disagree with that. I know what you mean. You're saying that's why he.
Yeah, for midfielders and attackers, he's not saying it can't happen.
Yeah, no. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying I know that's okay. Fair play. That's Dean. That's fair play. That's your preference. But I think Virgil's the best captain we could have at this club. Personally, that's just me though. personally.
Yeah.
But I hear what he's trying to. I get the other side of it, but I'm just. Yeah.
Flavor says Benzema and Vinny first 1 to 3 seasons weren't great. Yeah, completely.
I remember
agree.
when I said Vinny Jr. would be world class one day, and everyone laughed.
Yeah,
Well, that
the
went down.
problem is you said it just before we played him in the Champions League, and that was a game he started becoming world class.
Bro, trust me.
Boys, that's all the supers. Been a hell of a show.
It's been mad, man.
Hell of a
We
show.
didn't actually get round to talking about the whole situation of like positions of some players because obviously we did go on some tangents. But yeah, shout out Jamie because I see he's in the chat. He said something earlier on my channel and I'm stealing it. He's the one I'm plagiarizing from. I think the only way for the rest of this season we even remotely see anything good from Szoboszlai is if he plays right wing and take away all of that, him having to run around and do all that kind of stuff. Just use his pace and his power to be able to get past players the way Salah can't at the moment and just create a kind of attacking threat on the right. And Salah, as Jamie agreed with me as well, needs to be moved centrally. That to be figured out is a bit more tricky, but Salah's got to be moved central and Szoboszlai should go out wide. Otherwise, I don't think Szoboszlai should see pitch ever again for the rest of the season. If it's in midfield in that central area, he's become a liability. I actually believe the only way to get anything out of him is if he plays right wing. So I'm plagiarizing Jamie, big up yourself. But you lot know I said about moving Salah centrally. I've said that for weeks now. I think Salah needs to be moved centrally.
In front of Jota.
Not necessarily in front of Jota. The perfect way to do it would be you change to 4-2-3-1 and the pivot protects Salah in the 10.
When you think Klopp's going to change 4-2-3-1?
No, I don't think he would. But that we were talking about what we think would be best solutions to get the best out of players. And I think that would be what would be best. And in that 4-2-3-1, Szoboszlai would become the right winger.
I'll be honest, if we're playing someone in the 10 and playing 4-2-3-1, my first choice is Harvey Elliott at the moment.
I think Salah's creativity is way better.
Fair enough, but his form's stinky.
It is. But he's closer to goal because he's in the centre and his creativity is better than Elliott.
I'll be honest, at the moment, Salah can't even pass wind, let alone a football. Yasin says Champions League predictions. Who goes through each tie? No scores. I think Arsenal City go through. I think Atletico go through, and I think Barcelona go through.
Atletico, Barcelona, Man City, Arsenal.
Barca, Atleti, yeah, Man City, and I'm gonna throw a curveball. All right, Barca, Atletico, Arsenal, and Real Madrid.
Interesting. Ty says you guys got nostalgia over Drogba. Look it up. He got 20 goals in one Premier League season. Him and Anelka shared the Golden Boot one season.
No, but I think Ty was saying all the seasons he was poor. So maybe he
I think he's just trying to bring it. Yeah, because I didn't understand. Because I'm thinking, I remember Drogba getting at least a 20. At least. Let's just go
with the premise that he's right for a second. Because I don't want to call Ty a lie. Why would he even need to lie? So if we go on the premise of what Ty's saying and you look at how some of those stats were really bad, like some of them was only 5 goals in a season and stuff like that. It kind of does show you sometimes
what's that injuries, that doesn't even sound right.
Think about the old school players because Drogba was known as the absolute guy because of how clutch he was in finals and he was a big game player in a big moment. But if his overall consistency was that there were seasons he was only getting 6-7 goals. In today's day and age, you wouldn't even say he's good enough to be a mid-level Premier League forward, never mind Chelsea forward.
Can I just say one thing to kind of just we'll shut, because I know we're doing the whole trying to look at Drogba's stats to compare to Nunez. Did Drogba ever get as many chances as Nunez gets over the course of a season?
No, those Chelsea teams
Again,
were
that's
not
like-
as expansive as that. They played attacking football, but in a sense with the Duff and Robin thing, but you could say that was 2 seasons under Mourinho.
And
And
we
even then,
don't
they were
know
still
either.
defensively
Obviously,
clinging.
those are things we're always just going to be making assumptions on. We haven't got a clue because stats weren't around back then. And all that. So we ain't got a clue what the chances were like, how many big chances. We don't know. That's all just going to be speculation.
You know what? That stat is actually kind of interesting. In the Prem, Drogba got 10, 12, 20, 8, 5, 29, 11, and then 5.
I'll be honest, if you don't say the name Drogba, that's kind of terrible.
He
Yeah,
got
it is.
100 in 226, though. Just bear that in mind, right? 100 in 226. And he also got 157 in 341.
Makama says if Bayern wins, it will be beautiful. It will be. It really will.
That is bad. I can't lie.
Unfortunately, they're not coming though. That's the only thing.
Boys, anything you want to say before we say good night to the people?
Bro, just when's the next game? Thursday, Atalanta, innit?
Yeah, yippee.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Maybe
couple people
preview.
I've spoken to that think we can do it. There's a couple people I've spoken to that don't think we can.
I think we can do it. It's whether we do it or not. We definitely can. Like Atalanta are on that team.
We needed the form from the Palace game to like a bit of momentum for me. I'm not really sure how we do it based on our form. Capable wise, you're right, Cal. We're capable. We have the players and the ability to be able to do it. But yeah, here's the wickedest thing as well. I'll be honest with you, look. If we get the first goal in the game, I think I might start to believe possibly. If they score first, it's so over. I might not even finish the stream.
You ain't leaving me by myself, bro. I'll come to your house with my cameras and all that, bro. We win together, lose together. Kopish for life, bro.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
100.
But yeah, I think that will be the type of situation. I think if we score first, it might be a bit of a hello moment, and possibly if they score first, absolute done and dusted.
Yeah. If they score first, then
we go for a penalty, we go through. 3's the absolute max we can get. I can't see us away from home getting 4 or 5. I just can't. But I could be wrong.
Ty says 9 of Nunez misses were the post, just saying. Yeah, they were. Also, the Drogba stat as well. Drogba came to the league at 27 years old. So his first 3 seasons, it had been 28, 29, 30/31. You expect a decline after you turn 31 in that era of football in the Premier League. Nunez is going into his prime, or should be in his prime right now.
Oh, I slightly disagree in terms of that era, bro. I think it was less physical, so I think it was a bit easier to be older. Like Teddy Sheringham and players like that played till they were about 35 up front.
Not at top level. Not doing up Champions League.
Yeah, he was at United, bro. It was like 33, 34, 35 at Man United, bro.
He was
at the top
rotated with Andy Cole, Dwight York, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No, but I'm saying he was still capable because the league allowed players to be a bit slower back then. I think it's harder physically now than it was
Henry
back
finished at the same pretty much left Arsenal around that same age that Drogba was still at Chelsea.
Yeah, but I think that's an individual thing on Henry, which is why I was saying I think people don't put
Shevchenko at 31 wasn't the player he was. Like all them strikers in that era, once they hit the 30s, 31s, they weren't really the same.
No, not the same, but they were still able. Well, there was a lot of them like Defoe, Shearer. Like, there's loads of strikers. I think at that age, they were still able to be playing well at that age.
We're talking about the ones at the top level, though, playing at the top.
Yeah, Shearer. It doesn't really get much better than Shearer.
No, Shearer was one of the best. But I'm talking about was Shearer playing in title challenging teams and Champions Leagues and all that. He wasn't.
But he was still banging in the goals constantly, right up until he was that age.
That's getting a week break in for every game. Drogba weren't.
I'm just saying. I think it was a bit easier physically. But it was a bit better physically then than now, because I think now it's so much about physicality and being an athlete more than being skillful and all that. Like Ryan Giggs and players like that, bro. Look, Paul Scholes and them, man, there. And like, as good as they are, they couldn't play at 38 years old in this current Premier League. They'll be eating alive so much it would be funny to watch.
Scholes probably could, bro.
Bro, you truly think 38-year-old Scholes could play in the Premier League in this era, bro? Come on, man.
Nah. Well, not Giggs, but maybe maybe Scholes.
Scholes could play against that Aston Villa midfield yesterday.
Maybe not in the Prem, but I don't know,
man.
Says, damn all the excuses for Drogba when Watkins is better than him. At Matt, Isak or Drogba.
Damn all the excuses for Drogba when Watkins. Why are you doing this, bro?
Isak or Drogba, Matt? He asked you specifically.
I don't know if he's asking. What's he saying? More talent or just better?
Here comes politician, Matt.
No, it's a genuine. You don't have to follow up with a super. I just need to know what he means. I'm asking for context. Drogba's had a better career. Isak's just started.
What's the initials of your name?
Why?
Just
Why?
asking for a friend.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Right.
I'm just asking, innit?
Oh wow, that's what we're doing. That's what
what's
we're
the
doing.
initial? What's the initial?
Man's gonna try to bring up my government. Are you crazy? Full government team. Wow, is that what we're doing?
Have it on their helmet as well, isn't it?
I might have to start leaking addresses. If that's what we're doing right here, I mean, damn. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
What you say, bro?
But no, it's got to be all jokes aside, yeah. Drogba is obviously Drogba is a complete forward and was a complete forward, yeah. I remember stats aren't literally everything. However, Isak talent-wise, you don't know how far Isak's gonna go though. Like one's just started. One has finished his career. We already know where he's gonna be.
Yeah. So at the moment, you have to just say better one, isn't it?
Isak's not there yet. You're not there yet, man.
H Drift. Who has the better LFC legacy, Jurgen Klopp or Steven Gerrard?
Jurgen Klopp.
Cool.
I think a comparison between a player and a manager is very unfair. But Jurgen Klopp's won more, so technically.
Matt Cameron. Now that is crazy for real.
Answer that real quick.
No, but because Klopp's won the Premier League, it pretty much just self-explanatory.
Oh, you don't have to explain yourself to me, bro.
No, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm surprised that was only for me. Does Matt and Cal not like Klopp? No. Why was that only for me?
That was to you. I had to answer my question about Isak, bro. I don't understand. You answered your question. It's Cal that ain't had a question. So if anyone wants to ask Cal a question,
with me, but that's for another day.
Feel free to super chat that in. If anyone wants to ask Cal a question.
Oh, man, just answer that question real quick. Didn't even and R about it. Cool. Anything you guys want to say before we head on?
I've got a question for you, actually.
Go for it, Matt.
Who's got a bigger legacy in football, Gerrard or Ronaldinho?
Oh, legacy in football overall, it's Ronaldinho, isn't it? World Cup winner, seen as Joga Bonita, seen as taking the players into a new phase.
Fair play.
Yeah, definitely politician Matt tonight.
I'm not just asking questions. I'm just asking.
I see what you did there. Still,
I'm just asking, and no one can even say in the chat that was good. You know
Stevie or 9?
Hold on, I've answered my question.
You asked it from Matt. This is from the people. This is different.
We all had one question. I've answered mine.
No, but that one was from Matt, bro. So that one doesn't count.
But you and Matt had other questions in the comments, and I didn't
realize
that.
Who are you thinking for this Liverpool team, Gerrard or R9? That's H's question.
This particular
someone has said that.
This particular Liverpool team.
Cal's in the mud. He's absolutely in the mud.
Man said this particular Liverpool team like we're talking about 7 years ago. Today is 2024, my brother. We are here. We're in the title race. What are you talking about, bro?
Absolutely.
Sultan says, Matt, check up on your guy and Nabby. Their manager did not choose him.
So slick. I before you press the button to try change. Bro,
Did not
it's
choose
alright.
him to start, so he went back home. Cal, who has the best chin in the UFC right
No, you
now?
can't give away you can't say the UFC.
Yeah. No, I can answer that one though. I'm gonna go. I can't actually.
No, you
without giving
can't.
Sultan,
You just-
Sultan, message me privately and I'll let you give it.
yeah.
I'll give you that.
And I
answer.
did see what Nabi did, and these.
Cal, you can answer H's question, bro.
There's another super chat here actually.
Who's that for?
This is for everyone. Benitez or Klopp?
Klopp.
Klopp all day.
Klopp. Sweet. When do we go back? Probably tomorrow, Wednesday.
Hold on, there's
for the
one
preview
more.
for
Hold on.
Atalanta.
I just saw it. Or did you get rid of it?
I reckon.
Hey, you think you get rid of me? Man, think you can just get rid of me? Are you crazy, bro?
Must
Wait a
have,
minute.
must have happened to you. What happens to
I
me?
thought there was one more, but I feel like you got rid of
it's
it.
cool. Yeah, we'll have you back Tuesday or Wednesday for the Atalanta preview, guys. So make sure you look out for that. And then obviously Thursday for live match watch along and post match reaction, along with
I found what you're looking for, Matt. I found what you're looking for.
Yeah, here
Alexander. Cal, who means more to you, Bobby or Stevie? Are you talking about my kids or the players here?
I think he means the players, but I would double check as well.
Because if it's my kids, I love all my kids absolutely the same.
No, we're gonna go with the players.
If it's the players, Steven Gerrard.
By the way, as someone who's not a parent, I can't speak on this factually, but everyone who is a parent has told me it's an absolute lie that parents don't have a favorite. It's an absolute lie.
I don't have a favorite, but I go through phases who I like more than others.
Yeah, you'll have a day where one gives more trouble than the other, but I love them equally, man. That's not me trying to.
No. Love's got nothing to do with being a favorite.
No favorite, like.
No, remember, love's got nothing to do with being a favorite. Of course, you.
I don't know what Nabi was doing, people.
I don't have anything to do. No, love doesn't have anything to do with a favorite. It doesn't. Not when it comes to family.
I'm just being real. I don't have a favorite. I just think both my kids give me stress.
Yeah.
On that day, one would get on my nerves more than the other. Whoever gives me more stress.
If you were to ask me who gets on my nerves more,
like favorite's got to be something consistent. Like I don't know, like because you consistently favorite.
Gets on my nerves more. Would you not technically, by answering that question, be having a favorite? Because getting on your nerves means it would be
but on different days. But one doesn't outweigh the. No, what I'm saying is, for example, Kai don't do more than his sister. Like they're exactly the same, bro. Like there's days when I'm like, no. You know what? You go over there, yeah, because you're just misbehaving. It probably changes, isn't it? I don't know.
No, that's fair enough. I've just been told by all the people who are parents that always say, yeah.
But people can have favorites though. That is true.
Don't have a favorite. Politically correct, or they don't want to upset.
Yeah. Some people do. I just don't. But yeah,
it has a favorite. Like, but yeah, I
don't know. Shout out to V1K United says, "Bless guy, your Fergie has left 20 times United. It might be another 20 times before you win the league, bro."
This is like Fergie leaving United. It's a big deal. It's a very big.
It's a big deal, but Klopp's left us in a way better position than Fergie left Man United. Fergie knew that the roof was coming down and just bounced and sold it to the highest bidder.
Yeah,
Fergie sold a car with a bad clutch. The poor blokes on the motorway can't brake.
By the way, I didn't say any names, so I haven't given any of my friends. I haven't put any of them on blast by them telling me that they haven't.
All your bridges now are just going to be getting side eyes from the missus. Was it you? Was
it you that said it though? Was it you? And what? How are you going to tell him that?
It's not even just friends though. People I've worked with over the years, like so many people who I've spoken to, they're just like, yeah, you're not meant to, but everyone's got their favorite. Like they've all said it, like, you're not meant to, and you love them all the same, but everyone's got the favorite. Everyone's got the one that might get the bigger piece of chicken.
Me and Matt are only 4/5 years in it. Ask us another 5 years, it might be a different answer.
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, I might not have any favorites.
That's where in it, all of them.
But yeah, anything you want to say to the people before we sign off, boys?
No, big up everyone that joined us. You know what I'm saying? There was over like 1,000 at one point for like rocking with us for the whole show. So big up to everyone.
Emotional, argumentative but necessary conversation. I always enjoy being with you, man. So it is what it is, man. This is what happens when you realize you've lost the title. It gets a little techie. You know. But roll on Atalanta, innit?
Indeed.
Oh, can I ask a question before I go? Quick question for everybody, and I'll gauge. This might help me make my decision. I did a £5 accumulator, and it's irrelevant what other teams are in it, but they've all come through. And the only team left in my accumulator is Arsenal to qualify for the next round. At the moment, my cash out is £47. But if I don't cash out and I win £120. Should I cash out at £47, or do you guys think I'll get the 120? I should stay for the 120.
I'd cash out.
I'm buying and missing
Coleman and Gnabry.
Coleman, Davis.
Oh yeah, and Gnabry.
Someone else.
Gnabry.
I'm gonna stick with my gut and not cash out. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
might. Yeah.
However,
Arsenal got that bozo gene, innit?
They might have a nosebleed in the Allianz Arena, bro. I'll be real.
Can you cash out during the game, or the moment the game starts, you're locked in?
I can cash out during the game, but if Bayern Munich score first, that will drop to about £15.
Do you know what it is? You just got to look at that. I don't trust them.
Oh, you're still up though, bro. You're still up, man. That's
you
a
got to
more
look at
than
this. Do you trust Arsenal? You trust them. They're not your team. You can't trust them. You can't trust Arsenal. You can't. If they're not your like, I don't know, man.
Me and the missus, we both won the Grand National. We both bet on the horse that won, so that was cool.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. This cash out. It's been eating me alive for about 2 days. I'm like, because you know what it is. It's not even a super large amount of money, but it's like that feeling of, was I stupid not to? Like, I'm sitting on it now, and I'm just like, should I cash out £47 and just take my £42 profit, or are Arsenal gonna do this and I'm actually gonna get the 120? Like, what am I being like? I'm so in two minds right now. It's mad.
I don't trust Arsenal. I just don't. I don't know. I don't trust them.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure.
Oh, keep us updated, bro.
We're gonna find out. Innit? On what they're playing Wednesday, innit? Wednesday.
And make sure you're there, Drifted TV. The boys will be there. It's gonna be a fun one. So make sure you're there, people.
Let's make it happen. But people, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. For everyone who contributed in the chat as well, big up yourselves. Until we see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.
Love.